That was the best countdown I've ever heard. That was unbelievable.
Top 5 countdown, at least.
Unbelievable. It's nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Ethan.
Yeah, nice to meet you. What teams do you guys root for?
So, Cardinals fan.
Nice.
I'm alone here.
And for all intents and purposes, I'm a Yankees fan.
Oh, seriously? Boo.
He was on with me on Friday. So
yeah, tough one.
Yeah, you guys are on fire. We caught you at the wrong time.
Yeah. So, which major leaguer Jared Kalanick is
Yeah, that's me.
That's you? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like
excited young man.
Names, so I don't know people's names.
Yeah, I was on the screen for his debut game.
Okay.
It was not a bad debut.
It's like Vlad hit another homer.
While we're waiting for the game to get started, I don't have any White Sox fans, and I'm not super around in the Discord to talk random nonsense. How do you guys feel about the La Russa hire? Like, not now, not presently. So take it back to he first came on, no games are played, he gets his second DUI. Like, what's going through your minds?
Jordan, do you want to go first?
So Bob Nightingale, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's like basically.
Have you heard of him?
He basically is Jerry Reinsdorf's mouthpiece. So he put out basically everyone thought it was a puff piece saying that La Russa is getting back into managing, yeah. When we all knew it was Hinch, Cora, maybe Espada was getting involved, Hinch's old bench coach, and all the fans ignored it, and then October 29th comes around, he's hired, and they're like, what the? And everyone was against it. I was against it. And then I think about December, I kind of bought in because he was like giving his like apology to the fan base about all side stuff. And he was like saying like how he's out to prove that he's, he can do this. And then spring training came around, and I was still bought in, and I'll give him a chance. And then I was still, and then the season started, and this last weekend or week or two with the Yerman stuff, I kind of started getting away now. And then some of the bullpen management's been horrible, and then the lineups have been annoying as far as the order goes, has also been annoying as well. So I'm starting to get out of him, but I kind of only have much of a choice just to, deal with him for now. So.
Yeah, for me, I was in the same boat as Jordan. I hated it. It was straight out, it was going to be Hinch or Cora. And I, even being the diehard White Sox fan that I am, I wanted the manager to be A.J. Brzezinski. Or even like a Sam Fold, who got hired as the GM, I think, or president of baseball ops with the Phillies. So I, hated it for the first couple months. And then, like Jordan, I kind of like bought it and was like, okay, I just got to accept it at this point. And then obviously it's just spiraled out of control here, especially the past, week or two here with the Yermin 3-0 swing and the bullpen management and the lineups and all this nonsense.
Which the bullpen stuff is crazy to me because he's the guy who revolutionized. I mean, I'm a Cardinals fan. Like, I watched it happen. You know what I mean? Like, in the mid 2000s, I was really young, but he's the guy who started using the bullpen more creatively. So it's so crazy that he's, I don't know, not feeling it now.
Yeah, that's one thing like we heard is he's
it's all about like he'll depend on one guy or he'll not utilize the closer in the ninth inning in a tie ball game based type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's mainly been that Hendricks thing, especially in the Yankee series. I know Sam knows. Not using Hendricks in the high leverage spots against the middle of the Yankees lineup, and then we lose back-to-back games really because of that decision.
I wasn't super closely following like their manager search, but I remember like when that happened, I I just wasn't prepared for it. I just like what the world? Like, where did
There was
seemed like
no-
it came out of nowhere.
There was no search. It was him and Willie Harris.
Right.
And Willie Harris was kind of like the Rooney Rule, where they had to interview a coach of a minority. So
Okay.
basically, Jerry's like, "This is who we're hiring. If he wants a job, it's his." And then he basically had to like beg him because I think the Russos said no to Jerry at first off because he was basically done. Because I think it was part of the Hall of Fame thing where they would take him out of the Hall of Fame if he became active manager or something like that. He wanted to make sure it wasn't going to affect his status or something.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts of Tony La Russa as the Cardinals manager?
With him being hired with the White Sox or as the Cardinals manager?
As the Cardinals manager, yeah.
I mean, it's really hard. So, like, hold on, I want to watch this pitch. Oof. When you have a good ball club like Tony had for most of the time when he was managing the Redbirds, it's not easy to be a manager, but there's like, you don't have to think as hard. You know what I mean? Like, your guys are going to go up there. They're going to get, they're going to have good at-bats. The bullpen's going to come relief. They're not going to blow up. You're going to get good innings out of your starters. And so, Chris Carpenter, Adam Wainwright, Lance Lind there for a while, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We had a good stable of starters. Bullpen was pretty good. And you were trotting out guys like Pujols, Berkman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really easy to look good, when you have a good ball club. And like I mentioned, he he was creative back then. I don't know if I hate to be the guy that just says he's old because that's a tired take. But, oof, Goldie.
Ooh. I kind of think that snuck in there, honestly.
That's my
Maybe
left
I'm wrong.
fielder. That's my fielder, baby.
That's surprising. Goldie usually doesn't make too many base running mistakes.
Yeah.
He's been there, done that kind of guy.
Yeah, you get it, man.
But yeah, to wrap up my tirade, like I mentioned, I was pretty young, but, it's in retrospect, all you think about is like Tony La Russa, the two-time World Series winning manager and stuff. So it's hard to think of him negatively, except for like off-the-field behavior.
And I think now with social media especially, it's like we could, pick out every single one of Tony La Russa's moves and just complain about it now. So I think it's harder to probably be a manager now ever than it was before, just because of the social media aspect to it.
Yeah, back in 2006, if he blew a game with a bad bullpen move, you just read about it in the paper. It's not like he had to get lambasted by it on Twitter all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Tim's BMW commercial, Andrew?
What was that?
Are you able to see the Tim's BMW commercial right now?
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah.
Do you like his commercial?
Oh, yeah, I really like it. Does
NBC
Luke Voigt
Sports
have a BMW commercial, Sam?
Does who?
Luke Voigt.
Torres?
Does Voight have a BMW commercial?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw one.
I thought it was,
before.
That
I thought it
sounds
was
familiar.
Torres has
That's what
one,
I
doesn't he?
know of.
Oh, it's Glaber?
I think Glaber has one.
Yeah, that sounds right, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have it.
It's not like a Luke Voigt commercial.
Luke Voigt does have one.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, it went up a month ago.
Tatis has one too, I know. I think Javier Baez. Hey, Zach Collins is in the lineup. Life is good.
I don't know if anything's ever going to top that Clayton Kershaw hand-cooked tire commercial where he's in the different cars chasing the fly ball. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. He was throwing like when he was like talking to himself on the mound, didn't he like throw a pitch that he doesn't throw or something?
Yeah, it was
can't
like
remember.
a changeup. He threw that like
Yeah.
5% of the time or less or something.
Yeah.
Yo, Clayton Kershaw change.
Actually, Ethan, I'm a little bit on your side. I have Flaherty in fantasy, so.
Oh, so do I.
Okay, all right.
I am curious. Flaherty's velo has been. Yep, that's what I thought. So I was gonna say his velo has been down, but I don't think it's. I think he's intentionally not letting it rip. I think he's learned from last year and the year before that. And so I think he's trying to pace himself a little more. So instead of sitting like 95, 96, he's been sitting around 93. But I was wondering if today he was going to turn it up. And 95 for the first pitch seems like I'm right.
It's mostly anecdotal. I watched probably his first like 4 or 5 starts this year. And it seemed like, I don't know if you would know if you watched him more often, but like it seemed like he works himself into like so many deep counts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because like he'll be 7th inning and he'll flash 97. So it's not like he's trying to like keep in the tank. Like he's got it whenever he wants it. I think it's more of like a mental strategy thing than anything. Maybe trying to like placebo effect, keep a lid on it or something to go deep in games. Who knows?
Well,
Oh,
on our
good
on our
start.
staff, Rodon's like that though, where he'll throw 91, 92, then pop up to 96, 97 towards the end of the start.
Right.
Yeah, and his no-hitter, the graph was, the perfect graph. It increased the entire game there in his no-hitter. His ninth inning was throwing like 99.
I was gonna say I thought he hit 100 in that last frame.
Yeah, I think he hit 100.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was
I mean, that's the way to do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
if
Justin Verlander.
after the 7th, it's like I'm probably coming out after this inning. I'm probably coming out after this inning.
That's
Just uncork
Sosa.
it.
Yeah, Sosa bobbled the ball.
Yeah, it's
that's a tough one.
That was
Eddie
bad.
Hayden going with the mustache look.
I think he's trying out something new so he can play.
Batting average below the Mendoza line now.
doesn't matter if you get
On
hit.
bases. Yeah, his on base isn't. I mean, it's good for the batting average, but it's only
gonna say,
305.
His on base is still bad. Well, 305 is not. It's terrible.
Over 100 points
Not
better
great
than the batting average. I like that, but oh wow, they barely got him.
I was like 2 years ago, I was less worried about these kinds of situations because Flaherty was repping like something like like a 29 or 30% K rate, but it's dropped so much this year. I think it's hovering around 25 now that I feel like there's just like less reliability. He's going to K the side and get out of a jam, or get a ground ball, get a strikeout, something like that to put 3 outs on the board.
I remember Chris Sale, I think it was 2015 or 16. Jordan remembers, I'm sure. He pitched, he like reduced his velocity throughout the season. He did similar to like what Flaherty did, what Justin Verlander used to do back in his heyday, where he would only use his best fastball to get strikeouts or later on.
Yeah.
And that year,
I vaguely remember that kind of stuff.
26 innings. That was his career high in innings that year, and I thought that was like his best season. His strikeouts were a little down. I thought he
had a streak of like 10. He had a streak of like double-digit strikeouts for a while too.
Yeah. That might have been the year before that.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's almost like adding a secondary K pitch to your arsenal if you mess with the velo and keep it consistently lower than you can throw it and bang it up, 3 or 4 miles an hour for the K.
It's like Rich Hill with like his 2 or 3 different versions of his curveball.
Yeah, or like Lance Lynn. I don't know if you guys saw that GIF. I think Pitching Ninja put it up with his 3 different fastballs yesterday.
Yeah, he throws like a cutter, a fastball, and a sinker that looks like a fastball too.
Yeah, it was like cutter, 4-seam, 2-seam, and they all moved so. I mean, it was huge difference.
It's the tunneling thing where it.
Right.
Yeah, it moves like side to side, then like flies in.
So I was looking up Chris Sale's statistics. So in 2015, he led the major leagues in strikeouts with 274. Then the following year, he only had 233 strikeouts in 226 and 2/3 innings. That was the year I was talking about. He threw 6 complete games that year, and that was his career high in innings by over like 12 over any other seasons that he threw. And then the next year was that year he struck out 308 hitters. And
I was
he
going to say, I thought there was one that he had 300.
Baseball's better with Chris Sale in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I lost respect for him.
Was it the belly button ring?
No, it was wait, what?
Yeah, Chris. He had to get pulled from the start because he got an infection in his belly button piercing.
Yeah.
He has a belly button piercing?
Yeah, it's badass.
Really?
Well, that was before he was a White Sox.
He was a Red Sox.
Well, I got done with him because of the clubhouse fighting and the jersey cutting.
Yeah.
Oh, the jersey. Yeah.
That's where I got
for him then.
the guy started acting like a child. I got done with him. I was like glad they traded him. I was like, I want the rebuild to start. I was all in.
Yeah, I think you can ask like any White Sox fan who they like better, Mark Burley or Chris Sale, and pretty much all of them will say Mark Burley.
There's still a lot of Sale fans in the fan base, and I'm like not one of them anymore. Like I wouldn't even want him back on his contract. He's on. It's super risky. It's like he just got that big contract, and he gets Tommy John, and I'm like, you want to pay him $25 million, and you don't even know what he is. So, what he can't. I mean, we'll see what he is when he gets back with the Red Sox. But I mean, if like we were to hypothetically trade back for him, like I don't know if that's good because he hasn't pitched in like a year or two.
I'm still convinced we won that trade. I mean, we got Moncada, our number 3 hitter, and Kopech, who's going to be our future ace.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was high on Basabe, but he never panned out though too.
Yeah. Played a little bit with the Giants last year. I don't know where he's at now.
I think he's out of baseball or in minor league or something.
I'll look him up. Yeah, I don't think he's in affiliated baseball anymore.
Yeah, I think he was out of options. That's why we got rid of him in the first place. But he was in the futures game too when he came over.
Yeah, he hit that like 102-mile-an-hour fastball from Hunter Green for a home run.
Oh crap!
So, White Sox guys, what do we think about Collins? I'm curious.
Zach Collins?
I have zero knowledge on Collins, so break it down for me like I'm a child.
Yeah, I'm the biggest Zach Collins fan in the entire website. That's why I said earlier, Zach Collins is in the lineup. Life is good. Because I'm sure you guys know that like Jordan Lazowski. I don't know if you've seen his post where he's been posting the memes from Moneyball, where it's like, why do we love Grandal? He gets on base. Grandal's one of those guys to me where it's like there's nothing about him he's not like a Flaherty player. Obviously, he draws walks, it's kind of boring. And it's like Zach Collins I've just always loved him because he's, a first round draft pick, 2016. He's always been, always gotten a bad rap for his defense. This year he's been really good. And I just think if you play him on a consistent basis, I think he could be offensively similar to Grandal. Maybe not the same, but he's got a similar profile to Grandal. Power, he strikes out a lot, he draws a lot of walks.
Yeah, but he's playing a lot more than you normally see. He's catching 2 of our guys normally. He's catching Giolito and Rodon. So.
And I know, like, there's a lot of. Oh, go ahead.
So you're still seeing him a lot more, but he hasn't really gotten to the point where he's consistently hitting.
Yeah.
And he'll strike out a lot too. But I have no problem with the guy. I just don't think he's hitting enough to be, a starting catcher. Obviously, that's why I prefer Grandal playing.
See, I think he has the ability to hit like a starting catcher, but we just haven't ever given him the playing time, to realize his potential. I think if you traded him to a team like the Tigers that needs a catcher really bad, I think he would prove to be a capable starting catcher.
Yeah, I knew he had good power, but I was just looking at like the the pregame lineups on Savant. He hits the ball quite hard.
Yeah.
It's always a good sign.
He's basically like a poor man's Grandal.
Yeah. Does he have that? Is he? Like, is he as disciplined as him?
Oh yeah, they're very similar. Grandal has just taken it to another level this year, and I think a part of that has to do with him batting sixth in the lineup. And I'm sure you guys know, without Robert and Eloy, the back end of the White Sox lineup this year has not been very good. Billy Hamilton, Leary Garcia, Vaughn's hit a lot of like 7-8 this year. So I think part of that is pitchers are pitching around him a lot this year.
Because they could attack the hitters ahead of him.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to plate discipline, they're pretty close. Grandal, obviously, walked like 100 times with the Brewers 2 years ago.
And
So
his chase rate's like 99%.
Yeah, and I know, like, us here in Diamond Digest, White Sox fans, we want Grandal to start batting second. Just so
I've seen plenty of it on Twitter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, you wouldn't care if you had Eloy and Robert in the line because you would have a bunch of guys who can drive everybody, so it wouldn't matter where Randall batted. But when you have 2 or 3 holes in the lineup every night, you want him to get more bats than guys like Eaton because he gets on base a lot more. And you also could theoretically say he'll see more fastballs hitting at the top of the order. So he might actually get doubles, like he usually does get. Like, his Brewers year was otherworldly as far as OPS and slugging that year. So that's what we kind of want out of him. But
the problem I have with Grandal as a fan is that he gets too patient at the plate. And I know we've heard this a lot from like Joey Votto, like, oh, Joey Votto's the type of guy, late in the game, a full count and the pitch is on the black, he's going to take it and draw the walk and let the next guy drive in the runs, where he should really swing at the ball that's on the corner and drive in the run. That's the problem that I have with Grandal, is it's like he would rather take the walk than drive in the run and swing the bat. And that can get frustrating as a fan, watching him like, oh, here's another walk for, Leary Garcia's batting right after him. It's like, are you kidding me? So I know that part of that has to do, again, with Tony La Russa batting him sixth. But, Grandal, he hasn't really even hit the ball out of the ballpark that much this year either.
Got 5 homers.
Yeah, he only has like 15 hits, I think.
Ethan, we're kind of seeing what I was talking about. It's been maybe a bit more wild, but like I feel like there's just a lot of laboring.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially early in the game too.
It never so they've always talked about Flaherty's 8-0 and he's been, his last few starts have been fantastic and stuff. It never feels like he's cruising ever. Every Flaherty start I watch is an anxiety attack. Like, it doesn't ever feel good.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Is that it never feels like, oh, this guy's got it today.
No, yeah, it never feels.
Honestly,
the only.
That's a great play.
Ooh, yeah, that is a good play.
Former high school shortstop Jack Flaherty. Do you listen to the White Sox Talk podcast today, Jordan? The one about Flaherty and Giolito?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Harvard Westlake, I think it was their coach, the head coach, back when Flaherty, Giolito, and Fried were there. They were talking about Flaherty and Giolito, and there was a lot of high praise, obviously. And the coach was like, Flaherty is the best athlete out of the 3 of them.
Because he played shortstop.
Third base. Mm-hmm. He was a pretty good hitter. And he talked about his pitch ability, how I think he threw, in his senior year, it was 89 innings, and he had 122 strikeouts, only 10 walks, too. And he was talking about how his velocity really wasn't, amazing, especially on the level of, Giolito in high school, and that the velocity came later in his career. And, obviously you guys are talking about him, lowering his velocity this year.
That's interesting. In the YouTube game, I can't remember who the Cardinals played, but Flaherty took home the YouTube Player of the Game award, or the new award that they're giving out. And they were talking about, and he mentioned he had the better numbers. He thought Fried and Giolito had their raw stuff. So it's interesting to say that, which was, athlete Flaherty was. Of course, you can be being saying they have stuff cool, but taking moves for it's interesting. They thought better raw stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
the coach. Oh, go ahead.
The reason why I said Flaherty had a better
was
a better athlete was because he played shortstop and he also played center field. He played a lot of, he was more in the field than being a catcher.
Oh no!
Holy wow!
I'm way ahead of you guys, aren't I?
I'm on YouTube TV. Freaking Tommy Evans just dropped that ball.
Yeah, I groaned a whole 15 seconds before anyone else.
Well, YouTube TV is like behind like 2 pitches.
Man, Tommy Edman, I thought he's a solid baseball player.
Tommy Edman can do absolutely anything, and he's a jack of all trades, master of none. And I think that's what you get when you put a non-outfielder in the. Well, I guess he played so many innings in the outfield last year, but I mean, his home is in the infield for sure.
I to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I should take away what I was saying about Flaherty because he's had 2 of those like very routine plays booted.
Yeah.
So it's not on the laboring this time. Isn't on him, I don't think.
I'm sure his FIP is way happier. Yeah, the Cardinals are feeling it right now. I mean, somebody had a great tweet. I'm trying to remember who it was off the top of my head, but I mean, they said, "What happens when the depth needs depth?" Because our starting outfield's down, our replacement level outfield's down right now. I mean, we're gonna have to start dipping into AA soon.
Yeah, I saw that. The Harrison Bader interview? I thought that looked painful.
It was uncomfortable, we'll say.
Yeah, I was like, "Yep, that's a shoulder." Then it ends up being a rib.
Yeah, wait, what did that end up being?
It was like a fractured rib.
Yeah.
Was it from rolling over the ball? That's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah, he was diving for the ball from Madrigal, and he,
Scratch!
that's not gone.
Yeah, gummits.
I was saying the way Carlson's tracking that, I hope that's not gone.
No,
I'm like, Carlson's not even moving. How is that gone?
Vaughn's starting to rip a little bit, huh, guys?
Yeah, he is. I was very worried about him in like the first month or so because he was hitting a lot of ground balls. His launch angle was really bad, really low. No home runs, and then all of a sudden here, the past couple games, other than that triple play, he's been really good. And I think with Vaughn, he's just going to be a solid all-around hitter. He's a line drive hitter, hits the ball really hard. He's going to draw his walks, probably 20 to 25 home runs a year.
Yeah. I mean, he's been hitting it hard like pretty much this whole time, right?
Oh yeah.
In the beginning, a lot of grounders.
Yeah, his
official
launch
injury
is getting better, so that makes sense.
I believe, let's see here. Matthew made a good point in the chat that Flaherty's. Or wait, no, there was already a hit. Who had the? No, Goldschmidt got thrown out. Never mind. Just Flaherty hasn't given up a hit yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're getting a call in the chat for the first no hitter with runs given up. 2 of them.
Yeah. 1990, the White Sox beat the Yankees without getting hit.
Andy Hawkins.
I think someone mentioned, I think it was it Jared Weaver also threw a no-hitter without, actually threw a no-hitter and lost the game, I should say.
Jared Weaver, did he?
It was him or Irvin Santana. It was somebody with the Angels.
Isn't it not technically a no-hitter if you lose? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not counted as a no-hitter if you lose.
I was thinking about this. So, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, didn't Rich Hill
Yes.
go into the 10th in Pittsburgh? Like he pitched pitched in the 10th inning, right? And did he give up a walk-off run or something? Right?
Yes, to Josh Harrison.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
he
I thought.
had
But
9
yeah,
innings.
Yeah.
And then the 10th, he might have recorded like even 1 out in the 10th, and then gave up the walk-off home run.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember like that happening. I remember watching it, and I just feel like I never heard about it again, and I was just making sure I didn't like completely make that up.
That's terrible luck because the Dodgers always have a good, offense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
And I remember hearing Pedro Martinez also threw, I think back when he was with the Expos, I believe he threw a no-hitter, threw 9, and then he was like pitched into the 10th, same thing, like nothing game, and then he lost it as well. I'll have to take a look.
Those are tough. And then there was the Henderson Alvarez where it was completed on a walk-off like by the Marlins.
Yeah, he was in the on-deck circle, I think.
Yeah. That's got to be a relief, I would imagine.
Whatever happened to him? Henderson Alvarez.
He was. I remember seeing like a bunch of like John Heyman tweets or something like a year or two ago about him, like actively trying to come back. But I don't know that anything ever came of it.
Wow, he's only 31.
Yeah, he's only pitched in 6 big league seasons. That's hard to believe. 5 with the Marlins. Oh, no, sorry. 3 with the Marlins, 2 with the Blue Jays, and then 1 with the Phillies in 2017. That I don't remember at all.
I have no memory of that. Yeah.
He starts. Ethan, are you a big Yadier Molina fan?
I'm not going to freak out if you say he's not a Hall of Famer, if that's what you're saying.
No, I believe he is. He is. I was just wondering.
No, I'm not so I was maybe, let's see, 2006. I was like around 8 or 9 when he debuted. And so at this point, he's almost like, that like piece of furniture in your house that you always stub your toe on because you forget it's there. You know what I mean? It's almost like that. Like I almost don't have any feelings towards him, just because he's a staple.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of hard to explain.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes, tailor made.
Hey, boy, Tim. Madrigal.
What I am astounded with is his offensive resurgence this year, which doesn't make any sense. I've tried to write an article about it. I've tried to dig into the stats, and I've given up. Like I don't even want to attempt to break that wall down.
You guys talk about Yachty, right?
Yeah, it's basically just his
hitting ridiculous this year.
He's taken the approach where his strikeout rate has ballooned. I mean, like way higher than any other year of his long career. And he's basically taken the swing hard, swing long approach, and it's kind of just working.
One thing I wish, we would look at when it comes to like the Hall of Fame, and even just like, everyday comparing players is like positional OPS plus, WRC plus.
Yep. Like
with catchers, like if let's say you have like a 90 OPS plus, you're probably an above average hitting catcher. So it's like Yadier Molina, I think he has a lot of like slightly below average offensive seasons, but that would be considered above average for a catcher.
And the crazy thing about Yachty is that he started out with like 77, 80 WRC plus, but then when he hit his stride in his career, I mean, here from a 4-year stretch, 126, 138, 133, 102 WRC plus for a 4-year span. And then it goes back down to just average, 102, 114, 95, 105, which, like you said, for a catcher is pretty fantastic that he's hit slightly above average. And then this 135.
What's his career WRC plus?
Straight up 100.
Okay. OPS plus has him at 98. Yes, I mean a league, major league average offensive player, especially at a catcher. I mean that's really valuable.
All right, so let me ask this. So I don't know if you remember. I think it was like a year ago. I think that Fangraphs they put like framing into their like WAR for catchers. And Russell Martin and Brian McCann like skyrocketed. and like both of them were better hitters than Molina, like over the course of their entire career. So I'm curious, especially from you, Ethan, like if you're pro Yachty and Yachty in the Hall of Fame, that's cool. Yeah. But like, I don't know, what do you think about the other two? You know what I mean?
I think the whole Yachty Hall of Fame case, it's like, at this point, it's been extrapolated so beyond his actual on-field performance. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's not even, like, we're not even talking about, like, oh, is he a valuable hitter at that position? Like, can he catch the ball? You know, is he a good receiver? It's become this, like, zeitgeist, like, this ethereal thing in the MLB, where, like, I'm sure if you looked at like McCann and Russell Martin and stuff, like they're probably going to be better offensive players, overall. And like you said, their framing made their WAR skyrocket and stuff. But their like off the field presence in the game. If the Hall of Fame, if you're going to make the case that the Hall of Fame is direct impact on the game out off the field and on the field, which some people say, oh, just look at pure playing performance. Some people say look at off the field, etc. Then I think Yachty probably has the edge just because of the whole one team thing, his longevity especially, because he's in there 150 games a year for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like I'm fairly like stats only, and honestly, like over the course of the last year, I've become more. I was pretty anti Molina Hall of Fame, but over the course of the last year, I'd be okay with it, I think. However, if that was the case...
Get down! Zach Collins!
Oh, my God.
Making a case here.
He gets a hit with the extra attendance.
Gotta love it.
I'm curious now. I gotta look up Russell Martin and McCann.
Yeah, I just looked them up.
No, their WAR is like about like around the same WAR.
Yeah, Brian McCann is the exact same WAR as Yachty.
I would say that Yachty or Molina is definitely the superior option for me. But like the case with like Russell Martin, I was looking, it was a lot of like 90, 95, like a slightly below average offensive season. So that actually like was a better argument, the one I was making for Molina with Russell Martin. And I'd never had before even considered Martin and Brian McCann in the Hall of Fame discussion. I was thinking actually like a better option than those two even would be Joe Mauer, somebody that I'm very familiar with.
Yeah. That's
with him though, what's tough with Joe Mauer, like Russell Martin and Brian McCann were always catchers in their careers, where Joe Mauer became a first baseman. And obviously first baseman is always, you got to hit the ball at the ballpark, to get into the Hall of Fame as a first baseman. That's why like Keith Hernandez isn't in the Hall of Fame.
The thing about Mauer too that helps him is that like his peak was like nothing that any of those guys like really came close to. So like,
he won like what, 2 MVPs or one?
We won the one, but like the one he did was like a pretty otherworldly performance.
So one thing I was just trying to I'm not trying to be biased toward Yachty. I'm just trying to separate them in my mind. Just looking at like DRS really quick, Brian McCann put up a career 27 and Yachty's sitting at 168.
It's not nothing. There's a difference.
It's not nothing, but McCann is, 10% better hitter. He's got pretty much the same WAR. He had great longevity, 14 years.
Scott in the chat, he's claiming that that Yachty is the worst of the Molinas. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, you have so many to choose from.
He seems to believe it quite firmly too.
So the thing with McCann though is he played, in Yankee Stadium for the back half of his career. And I know that, like, these numbers are supposed to be adjusted, but it's like if you hit the ball at the ballpark, I mean, I feel like, some ballparks, it's the numbers don't even, bear the adjustment that it should. Especially at Yankee Stadium, it's like you had a deep fly ball, if you hit it like 314 down the line, you hit it 325 feet, it's gone. So
I mean, he was only, it was like a total of like. He was there for like 3 years, right? or here, I should say.
Oh yeah, it was less than what I thought. Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah. And he was very
69 home runs though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always a good like trick in a trivia question, because like it looks, I think from 08 to 2016, he like the question was like, you know, these players have hit 20 home runs for the last like 8 seasons or whatever, and it was always like Ortiz, you know, guys like that, and then the last one was McCann, so he was always a good one to throw in there.
Yeah, one thing I do love about him is his consistency. That's one thing I look for, like in Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
For me personally, is just the consistency. Day in, day out, you're showing up, you're playing, you're hitting the ball at the ballpark, whatever. Consistent offensive stats, all that kind of stuff. I don't like to see like 3 good years in a row, then 2 really bad years, then 3 good years again. I like that, like 10, 11, 12 straight good years. There's someone that's going to be interesting.
Of Seattle.
What do you guys think of Nick Madrigal being outsiders?
Me and Jordan talked about it on Friday, but I think the best way to describe it is that I feel like he's more interesting than he is good. I think there's something to be had there, but like, I don't know. It feels like maybe it could be a bit of a hole in a lineup. Maybe I'm wrong, but
He needs to get on base enough to like outweigh his lack of power.
yeah.
But I think it's going to come with more experience that he will be like guy. I mean, I might have set the bar a little high on him. I thought he was possibly. I mean, the crazy thing is, if you look at Nelly Fox,
Oh my lord.
he used to be he had no homers but a ton of strikeouts. But
Nicky, 2
he's not-
strikes.
Nicky's not going to win no MVP. Oh my God!
Who needs power when you just lob it into center and then rely on an error?
Pretty much. We're scoring all our
these
runs
are-
off errors this game.
Yeah, these are quite the runs that's straight out here.
Poor Flair, man.
Yeah, no.
Just bobbles and ugh.
As far as high runs, is as good as it gets for those of us that own him in fantasy.
I feel like everybody's so uncomfortable. Everybody being the Cardinals right now, they're so uncomfortable. I mean, Max Moroff and Edmundo Sosa being double play partners is like, if you told me that Edmundo Sosa and Max Moroff were going to be playing middle infield in like late May, I would have been like, ooh, that's not good. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like, where's Edmund? And they're like, well, he's in right field. Arenado? You too? Everybody's getting in on the action tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
It's
Jesus!
infectious. It's spreading.
And
Yeah,
they need to
now
call this
Nolan
game.
makes
Where's the
an
rain?
error.
I'm checking the radar right now.
Yeah. Needs to rain ASAP.
Typhoon to rain down on guaranteed rate field.
Yeah, this is one of those games. Everyone makes an error.
It was like that. It didn't take a weird hop. It was like a chopper, and he didn't do it.
Those first two were like that too. Like
Yeah. Which I'm
tough.
fine
Tough
with Edmund making an error there because he's probably not super comfortable in right on short notice, and I'm fine with Carlson making an error there because he's a rookie and you can claim rookie status for any mistakes he makes. But that's that was our superstar third base pickup. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Might be missing out on
I'm sure 95% of our colleagues right now are having an absolute field day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're probably wishing for my untimely end right now.
We might not even see a pitcher still here because Flaherty might not get out of the 4th inning with all the errors and the high pitch counts he's getting into.
Don't worry. He's walking back into that dugout and he's telling Schilt he's throwing 147 pitch tonight. I can already see. He is
Arm
getting the
just
high
absolutely
pitch
coated
for
in
all the
icy
errors.
hot, ready to rumble.
Because I see
Talking
multiple 3-2 counts.
Okay, so talking about Jack Flaherty and like pitching decisions, or in the Game 5 of 2019 was the DS.
Yes.
Would you? This was my. I wouldn't have even pitched Jack Flaherty in that game. I would have saved him for Game 1 of the NLCS. What are your thoughts on that? Of course, a 10 run the first inning for the
Yeah.
Cardinals.
I mean, it's you have to like in perspective, like he was the best pitcher on the planet.
Yeah.
And you're trying to punch your ticket to the CS, right? It's almost we were talking about La Russa earlier, not using his best pitcher in the situation because he had like the traditional like ninth inning guy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's the opposite there, where you use your best guy in the situation.
A 10-0 lead.
Yeah, but he has plenty of time for rest in the offseason. You know what I mean? If this is it, then this is it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could have used, your relievers like even like 2 innings, more
Just
than they usually
bullpen it.
pitch. Rather than, I would have rather saved Flaherty to pitch against. I think it was that 2019?
Yeah, you're talking about the Braves DS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So against the Nationals.
Yeah, would have moved on to the Nats.
Because I would have loved to see Flaherty pitch. He could pitch 3 games then in that series, or swept or whatever.
So like when you think about 2019, like that was a pretty tenuous ball-up. Like there wasn't a ton of faith. The bullpen was just coming together in like the way we remember it last year as one of like the better bullpens in baseball, not like it is this year in that it implodes every other night. Unless Alvarez is on the mound or Gallegos or Cabrera. So I can understand a little like trepidation, like, hey, let's hand the ball off to, you're still coming back from injury, Ponce de Leon, or like a very, very shaky Andrew Miller, to give us which Andrew Miller hasn't been good for us since we acquired him, unfortunately. But I pretty large gap. I don't know.
Where is Andrew Miller now?
The Cardinals.
Is he back on the Cardinals, or is he? He's always been there.
He's been here for like 4 years.
I thought maybe he left and came back or something, or got hurt or something.
He's just been hanging around.
Yeah, we just never use him because he always finds a way to. I mean, he's just like.
I thought maybe he was hurt.
Just
Came back something. I
Oh,
thought
is
maybe
that-
he was hurt.
Right now, he is rehabbing in AAA with a toe
Yeah,
injury.
I knew he was hurt. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I thought.
He hopped on in 2019. That was the year that he was okay for us through the first half, and then through the back half, it was pretty meh, and he ended pretty average on the year. God, it feels like we've had him forever. It's only been 2 years.
He wasn't on the team multiple times though. He wasn't like with you guys like later on earlier.
Mm-mm.
I think I'm thinking of like he was on the Red Sox too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on Boston a while ago. Then he
Yeah, I
went
think
to the
that's what
Yankees, and then the Indians, and then we acquired him.
Yeah, I think I was just thinking their team. For some reason I thought he was on the Cardinals like multiple times or something.
Love that.
Spent some time on the Orioles too. I don't know if that was mentioned.
And the Tigers and the Marlins.
He came up as a starter with the Tigers, right?
What a journey that man has had.
Yeah. And he was like heralded as a god.
He was like a fireballer. He was like the next coming.
How about the 3rd Grand Slam of the year for Abreu?
How about not?
I'm down.
Oh, come on.
Does Flaherty have like any?
I was about to look.
I don't think he does. That's
I mean, it seems like we're a lot further into this game than we are, but I
Yeah.
realize he's only recorded 4 outs. So
Yeah, no strikeouts. Has only allowed 1 hard hit ball though,
that's tough.
whereas Gio's already allowed 3.
He's throwing pretty hard. He's up over 96.
Yeah, 98 there.
Did he just get 198?
Oh, come on.
There it is.
He was fishing. He was fishing that hole of bat.
That was more like a cutter. That had some depth to it.
98. How was the Cardinals' defense been this year? Because I think I remember like 2018, it was that like really bad defensive year.
When
and then, like 2019, they repaired the defense again.
When you have the trio of O'Neal, Bader, and Carlson in the outfield, that's like a rock solid outfield defensively, and the infield obviously is anchored by the two corners, Arenado and Goldschmidt. So you're doing good there, and then Tommy Edman's been great at second. He's no Colton Wong, nobody's Colton Wong, but he has been a very suitable replacement. And then Paul DeJong is just like a good player. Like he's like, when I think of like a really great average to like slightly above average player, like Paul DeJong fits the bill. Like he's not going to mess up too often, and he's not going to make too many flashy plays. So, and then, our pitchers are superior athletes.
Yeah.
Jack Flaherty's coach said it himself. But yeah, the defense when everybody's right is pretty great this year. But nobody's been right. I mean, Paul DeJong's down right now with ribs. Bader's down with ribs. O'Neal has a finger fracture. It's just it's not ideal.
I like this here from Flaherty. He's picking up the velocity here in a big situation.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of this is just fueled by pure rage at this point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Flaherty's definitely not a relaxed. He's not he's not a Hyunjin Ryu. He's not gonna just chill out on the mound. And I think a little too much rage there from Flaherty.
Ooh.
As that ball scores.
My God.
Now he's just overthrowing. I think he's starting to spiral a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, the last like 4 fastballs he's thrown, he's yanked.
And I imagine the bullpen's going to get going here.
This is going to be not what we signed up for, guys.
I was looking forward to 0-0 going to the 8th, but 5-0 in the second's fine.
I think he got a little too amped for this type of thing because I think the mentality was that each pitcher wants to one up each other, and one might push it too far. And that's what Big Flaherty's doing, even though he's had a defense that has let up on him, but still.
I think if you ask that question to Flaherty in the post game, he says like absolutely not. We're just here to do a job, but it's got to play a little bit.
But yeah, you saw. I mean, they talked about this start like a week ago. Because Giolito, Fried, and Flaherty have like a text group, and they chat throughout the entire year. But this particular going, when did you pitch? When did you pass? Oh, I'm going Tuesday. Oh yeah, you're going Tuesday too. So they basically knew about it all week. So this whole thought of them winding up was a thought for like a while. So and then when the day comes, they're both trying to one up each other, and then either one's going to falter and one's going to dominate. So. You also got I think a lot of the family members are there too. I mean, obviously Katz is there, but I think the athletic director is there too. That the coach was.
Yeah, the coach, he flew in.
He's going to be there, and I think
there tonight.
Yeah, I don't think. Giolito's dad never watches the starts. He gets all agitated. Like during Giolito's no hitter, he basically ran to go do errands or something. He wouldn't watch it. Like his brother Casey and his mom would watch it, and he was out going to the store or something. He won't watch us. He won't watch him pitch.
Mowing the lawn while his son goes to Cooperstown.
He gets agitated. Yeah. And when he does watch him, he doesn't do well or something like that.
So
Yeah,
what
Rick's-
picture- Go ahead.
Yeah, Rick's quite the personality on Twitter. Like he'll go on there and go, Ethan Katz, the pitching whisperer.
Oh yeah, I love how he changed his profile picture to Lucas Giolito staring down from the
Oakland
playoff
series.
series.
Yeah. So every time that you'll see a pitcher come out and do something well, he goes, "Oh, that's Ethan Katz, the pitching whisperer." Go ahead, Andrew. You can say what you want.
Hmm.
I think it's really.
I was gonna say I was going a deep dive on some of the best pitcher from like 8 years ago.
Really?
Really.
Just gonna say worth actually.
That's what I was all.
Or not even. It's not
Yeah.
Anyway, that was-
bad.
I think this
Yeah, I think back.
He was. Wow. That really is something. When
A couple thirds have been much better.
yeah.
One. For me to watch Lucas Giolito, I still would prefer Jack Flaherty. I think he's got that athletic. He's coached about his athleticism. I think his pitching ability is the mirror of both.
I his ERA right now is 2.5, and his fitness is not far off 3.19. So it's not like he's really benefiting from the Cardinals' fitness. He's just pitching well. He's relying on his as a C minor.
We had the issue with Easter. I was lying a lot of and it kind of started out of control last year.
Last year was definitely a result of ill preparation. I mean, the Cardinals went down for so long and then played so many games in a row. It was you could, watching day to day, you could see the Cardinals like figuring stuff out in season still.
Well, they had that COVID outbreak that really derailed them early.
Right.
Yeah, and then come back and play a doubleheader. Haven't played in 2 weeks, and we sweep the White Sox.
Yeah, that was the most embarrassing thing ever, and they have the decent players on the team too.
And then we played 2 more doubleheaders after that.
Well, Jack Flaherty, he was throwing balls into his mattress in the hotel.
Yeah, that's gonna go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That was the best picture that came out of last
Just
year.
the Hall of Fame. Sam, I'll ask you this question. The 3 for like pitchers, which one do you think is the best?
So it's between Fried, Giolito, and Flaherty.
Yeah.
Let me think. I'm not like huge on Flaherty, to be honest. Like I don't think he's bad or anything, but I think I would go Giolito.
Yes.
That'd be yeah.
It's spreading, guys. It's a virus.
Oh no. Paul Konerko would have picked that.
What did you get? Did everybody else answer that?
Yeah, Jordan said Max Fried. I picked Jack Flaherty. Ethan, did you ever pick? Did you say Flaherty?
The only thing I was thinking about is I like Gio's stuff, but do you think he needs more than the straight change, the fastball, and the occasional slider to keep being successful? Like, do you think his repertoire needs to evolve?
He needs to get that slider going more. He's starting to do it now. They've been working on a curve. They've been working on bringing his curveball back in to bring the slider back. Because he had a pitch they had a pitch to work on that was called the downer during spring training.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a 12. It was like a 12-6 curve.
I would say typically you would say yes. Like if if you ever hear like, oh, he's a fastball changeup guy. Oh, he's not that great. He's looked down upon, by scouts.
Right.
And even Reynaldo Lopez, who Giolito was traded over with, he was a fastball changeup pitcher primarily. That was his bread and butter. But with Giolito, I mean, you saw I don't know if you guys saw Pitching Ninja last week. He had so many strikeouts on high changeups.
The high change,
so
right.
To me, if you're striking guys out with high changeups, getting swing and misses, I don't think you necessarily really need a third pitch. Although obviously it would help.
Yeah,
I
the
feel
way
like
the way the Tigers and the
thing, like when that changeup is that good, that
with Tigers or Red Sox his changeup, that's what kind of worried me a bit. But I think he was just basically didn't have his release point in those games.
That's my thing is it's filthy. His straight change, especially high in the zone, it's nigh unhittable. But like you mentioned, if he does have an off day or I'm just waiting for the one day that an entire team sits changeup. Scraps everything. You know what I mean? And I really want to see what happens. Just from a tunneling perspective, he's got that slider to work in on lefties. He's got the change to work in on everybody. He's got the high fastball, the high change. I was just thinking if he incorporated something that had a ton of vertical depth to it, like a big loop-in curveball or something, I'd be able to break downward on hitters and mess them up a little bit.
How old is Joe West?
Old.
So old.
He looks like he's dying behind the mound right now.
On God, I'm surprised he does not have an oxygen tank back there.
He's 68. He's younger than La Russa.
Do you guys think that they're gonna stop the game and be and congratulate Joe West, make an announcement on the scoreboard?
They already did that pre-game.
Oh, they already
Jordan
did?
said they did.
They had a whole ceremony for him pre-game.
Yeah, music festival. People could camp out.
They had the Oak Ridge Boys band for him. They had a whole video presentation for him before the game started. They did a whole. It was basically, instead of being about La Russa in Game 1, it was about Joe West in Game 2, and no one cares about Giolito Flaherty.
I want a cookie cake with Joe West's face on it.
I'm not.
Is that
a reference
whatever
to something?
Rodon versus Gans.
No, I just want a cookie cake with his face on it.
All right.
Doesn't have to be a reference to anything.
No, I didn't mean that disparagingly.
Are you guys familiar with Hawk Harrelson's relationship with Joe West?
They're friends now.
Service level.
So what happened is, I think it started, I don't know if it started before, Jordan probably has a better idea, but so back in 2010, 2011, Mark Burley was pitching against the Cleveland Indians in Cleveland, and there was a questionable balk call. It was he didn't really balk. That was his move. He used all the time to go, for a pick off the first base. Joe West called a balk, and he was pissed at it. So then later on in the game, he calls a balk again. Burley throws his mitt. He gets ejected out of the game. Ozzie Guillen was their manager at the time. He gets ejected. And Joe West was like, oh, come on, this guy's, he sucks. Ripped him a new one. And he would always say, so after that, Hawk Harrelson would always say, and he would literally bring this up at every single game. He'd be the first rule of baseball, especially in this game with the bad defense, he'd be the first rule of baseball is catch the baseball. The second rule of baseball is don't mess with Joe West. Literally, he would literally say that just about every game.
Speaking of catching,
and now he's best friends with him. He golfs with him,
best friends, I guess.
And then he says on a conference call, "Oh, game seven, you want Joe West on the behind the plate." I'm like, "Oh, what the heck, Hawk?" Although I'm at a point now where it's Angel Hernandez is the worst umpire in baseball. I don't even care about Joe West.
Oh, definitely.
Pretty unilateral, though. I don't think that had to grow on you. That Hernandez was the worst. You had to think about it. You had to stew and really let it percolate.
Well, it's his pitch calling is the worst. I don't care if he's on second base or whatever. I care about him behind the plate.
Well, did you see his game from last night? It was one of the best games of the season, probably.
Yeah. Well, Lion Dog finds a bone every once in a while.
I heard a lot of people complaining about Eric Backus on Sunday.
Oh, he was brutal. But I mean, Rossi got thrown out of that game for arguing strike zone, which I totally agree. I also would have been thrown out of that game in the stands, not as a manager.
Escorted out by security.
Exactly. I would have caused a scene.
Oh, there were two fights in the bleachers last night at Park.
Oh.
There was a chick fight in the left field bleachers, and then there was two guys like after the game like basically stripping each other fighting. Like the two fat guys got their shirts taken off, and one guy has pants like halfway down.
Is it just me, or are there like way altercations in games this year? Or
Yeah.
maybe they're just more publicized.
Once you're increasing the capacity and people start interacting with each other, people are they get all rowdy and shit.
I don't ever remember people like actually fist fighting at baseball games this often.
That Padres one, like that was like a
That
professional
was a clean
knockout.
shot.
What happened?
That was like
that
flush.
was big time.
What triggered that? Like guy just crashing Tatis or something? The Rockies fan?
I don't know what it was.
Somebody. So this is literally comments on Twitter, so I have no idea. But somebody said the dude that got punched was screaming racial stuff.
Okay.
But again, Twitter. So it kind of makes the guy who punched him a hero, which is probably not great either.
I mean, we had we had fans in our team thrashing Kopech while he was warming up in the bullpen. It was the dumbest stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was a little tight.
That ball,
Dang.
that really flew. I did not expect that to get that deep.
I feel like a merit of a good mustache that Eaton is really tackling right now is the 5 o'clock shadow on the rest of the face. You know what I mean?
Oh, what a catch by Eaton!
You can just tell how gritty a guy is if he has a full stash and then the
Absolutely.
shadow.
Got to make that a T-shirt right there.
Like that guy is walking into my bodega with a baseball bat, and I'm giving him all the 10s I got.
Exactly right.
And the man's terrible. And Steve Benetti agrees with me. It is the mustache. Did I just say Steve Benetti?
Jason Benetti.
I'm great.
Well, Steve Stone's the other guy, so that's where you get.
Yeah,
Like,
I mashed them together.
are you in Illinois, Ethan?
Nah, Missouri.
So
West
you but you have this. You have the home broadcast on though.
Oh, absolutely. Jason Benetti and Steve Stone. It's not
There
even
we
close.
go, yeah.
I adore Jason Benetti.
I actually watched. I know it's not what you want to do. I actually just watched ESPN. I actually watched ESPN. I like to hear. I know it's a horrible broadcast crew of A-Rob. I like to hear different perspectives sometimes.
Yeah,
That's all.
Sure. It's like I watch.
They've done it where it's been like Len and AJ were doing some stuff, and I listen on purposes to hear. As AJ Brzezinski, he trashes our players for some reason. I don't understand why he does that. He trashes Robert because of his like his play discipline so bad, and he's just
That's all he knows.
play discipline. And like he'll trash Mata too when he doesn't
Big
swing. And
stretch,
I'm like,
Whoa.
All the way up.
What's the temp in Chicago right now?
I got 67 on my phone, but I'm in the suburbs though.
Soaked. Like the man is glistening.
I think he's always just
75.
No, I watched the
Yeah,
Padres
yeah,
with
he's-
Damasilo too. He's one of the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the Benetti and Stone are good, but I like love the Padres when they're so
they're
good.
great. They're total goofballs. Like they don't care what they say on air.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Remember the early Kopech starts, Andrew, where he was like soaking.
Oh, yeah, those games. Yeah.
He would has like a thing where he switches his jersey and the Maya he switches jersey like 4 different times.
He changes his jersey after every inning. Yeah.
That's filthy.
I don't think right now, but he did before. He like sweat like crazy.
Well, that's what he said
Wait, who is
before.
it that
Yeah.
changes their jersey every inning?
Michael
Kopech.
Kopech.
He was like,
oh yeah, actually, I think I heard that. Yeah.
he used to get really sweaty when he first came up when he
Yeah.
started.
Doesn't Lance
Now he's not
Lynn
throwing
drink
enough
his
innings
shirts
right now
too?
where you don't see it.
What did you say, Ethan?
Doesn't Lance Lynn do that too? Because I feel like I remember when he was with the Cardinals, the dude would just pour like Niagara Falls.
I'm not sure about that one. I haven't heard anything.
How did he survive in Texas? He's a big dude.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He was one of my absolute favorite players in St. Louis. He called himself an asshole last night. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was not really a fan of the Lance Lynn trade when it initially happens, just because I really like Dane Dunning.
Yeah.
And also, I felt like if you're going to make the Lance Lynn trade, they should have made it last year. And I know that obviously you could bring up like, oh, well, Dane Dunning started Game 3 of the wild card series last year, and he didn't make make it out of the first inning and all that. But to me, he's got like 5 years left. Lynn only has 1 year, so it's like, are we even going to re-sign him? I'm not sure about that.
I don't think Nate Dyson would be anywhere better than a 3 at best.
I hope you're wrong.
You think he's an ace for some odd reason.
He's just a very likable guy.
I'll admit that he is.
I love the memes.
I admit he is, but he's not like a guy who has like top of the rotation stuff.
Yeah, I mean, probably not. I mean, I could see him. I mean,
he has good. I mean, the reason why he might K more than the traditional ground ball pitcher, he has good breaking stuff. That's really it.
Yeah.
But he is traditionally a ground ball pitcher, but he has a good breaking ball where he can maybe get a few more. He might be able to get like a Stroman like K rate where he's a ground ball guy, not like a Keuchel K rate basically. But he won't be Stroman, but he might have a K rate that's similar to his because he has the better pitchability.
Ooh. Whew. That doesn't feel good.
Attaboy. You don't throw your bag. You just walk the first base, baby. Wilson, I hope you're watching.
I just saw the hit by pitch.
The core defense is probably not of any help, but I do feel like Flaherty looks a bit off.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have any of his stuff. Actually, surprisingly, his breaking stuff is pretty good right now. Like I
feel like the four seams have been like all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's his fastballs because like that curveball right there was great, spotted low in the zone. His slider's been working too. He hasn't been missing too much. He hasn't been yanking those. It's just I think he's trying to overthrow
why is there a chicken in the dugout?
Yeah.
I thought we were all just gonna blow past that.
Ago. Yeah, is that? That's not a mascot. I've never seen that before.
That's the chicken from like WWF, Andrew. Or something.
Yeah.
The freaking chicken that came out of the nest.
Yeah.
Is that just a vagrant chicken, or is that?
I remember watching like the MLB bloopers DVD, and I remember seeing that bird or whatever that is like years ago. So I don't know if it has to do with Joe West or what. Like why it's here, if it has to do with the Cardinals, White Sox.
Yeah. I mean, Joe West
the
loves
tribute to him having the
because ours is softball, and I have no idea what he is.
I think it's just
he's got a jersey on.
Doing that on their own time.
Turn around, poultry.
Was that mascot the White Sox mascot? I'm trying to think. It might have been. I remember
that's not softball.
Yeah, softball is kind of like a little bit like the Fanatic, right? But wearing like White Sox garb.
Softball is kind of like a Oscar the Grouch looking dude, but he's not even like a trash can thing.
Softball's a great name for a mascot.
Yeah.
But he looks up, but he's not even.
There it is.
Yeah, you're right. The off speed looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, his breaking stuff is working for sure. Even that curveball that missed outside was still location-wise like where he wanted to miss.
Yeah. Can you get? Let's see here. I can look at the pitcher breakdown.
That's it. So that is the San Diego chicken.
And
yeah,
that's it. Chicago.
Oh, maybe it's because they're two California pitchers and they brought them out for a reason.
Oh, that checks
Yeah,
out.
Maybe that's it.
That checks out.
And because you got two California pitchers going and they brought them there for that reason, maybe.
I thought they were from LA though.
I don't know, but still, I don't know. I'm just trying to put two and two together there. I could be totally wrong, just overthinking it.
Yeah, I'm looking at Flaherty's pitch chart right now. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of all over but definitely there's a line basically like there's not much any kind of correlation with the fastball. It's sort of all over the place, but there's definitely a lot that are like pulled to the glove side.
Mm-hmm.
And then the slider has been pretty decent. It's like sitting middle, but the location isn't too bad. Curveball's been better than probably the best location out of the four.
Apparently, this chicken mascot is what made like mascots in baseball and professional sports as well, like widespread. So this
The
is like a
chicken we
really
just saw?
significant mascot, and it like dates back to like the 70s, like 1974.
Interesting. Who's your friend there, Ethan?
Oh, this is. Oh my God, this is my buddy Zuzu.
Nice.
He's more of a Tigers fan.
Nah,
Poor
makes
guy.
sense.
Wow. Sosa couldn't possibly have a play there, but that was a horrible throw.
Was it the
Wow, the
Cardinals that had,
replacement level player made a bad throw? Wow.
Was it the Cardinals that had like a black cat run across the field?
Yeah. I mean, a while ago they had the rally cat. I think most recently you're thinking about Coors Field.
Yeah. Was that this year or last year?
Yeah, that was this year. But yeah, the rally cat was a huge thing in St. Louis for a while.
Was that like 2011, like the World Series team?
I think so.
Also, I realized a minute ago, I really do have a foot in both camps here.
How about
So,
that?
yeah, I buy a hat at every stadium I've been to.
Oh,
so.
I guess I should put up my Lucas Giolito art.
How many ballparks have you been to?
I've got so I've been to 10 for like, I've been to 11, but the 11th one. So I went to Miami, but it was for a WBC game. But I was at the stadium.
That's really cool. Wow.
Yeah, it was that U.S. Dominican Republic game.
Oh wow, yeah. I was hoping that they were gonna have some of those WBC games in Milwaukee, since that's like about 2 hours from me.
Yeah.
Probably because they would have it indoors, in March.
Right. Yeah.
At first,
I
I
went
saw
down-
a Nationals art behind Ethan. I thought maybe that would be a Giolito from the Nationals or something. I was like,
No, that was
I thought-
Scherzer. Now it's Giolito.
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, no, then you put a Giolito one for the White Sox. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Did you like get those made, or did you make them?
Oh, I made him. Yeah.
No, what? That's
Oh, really?
I've got
Let me-
Gio,
bring it closer.
Scherzer, Kershaw.
That's good stuff.
Say bring him closer.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. Look at those.
Oh. And there's my Gio.
Dude,
Wow.
nice.
Is that
That's
computer
impressive.
computer render or something?
It's Procreate on my iPad.
Oh, okay.
Digital art.
Nice.
So pretty
How long
good.
did it take for you to make those?
I don't know. I kind of just like pick away at them while I'm watching TV. Doing something random.
That's pretty cool.
I just realized like I didn't have any art on my walls, and I'm like, well, I don't want to
Did you
just
make
like buy players.
Did you make a Spencer Turnbull one for Scott?
Absolutely not.
I see him in the chat room. Like,
Only one Tigers fan in this house, and it's literally my cat. Okay. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Madrigal do something.
More like the Cardinals
Oh,
defense
man.
didn't do. Again.
Yeah, I don't know that
Yeah.
would have had a chance either way though.
Oh my god!
I mean, he shoveled
Oh.
it pretty high.
That was a bad flip. Yeah.
That's a very slow toss.
Jesus, what is going on tonight? What did Boster do to the field, Andrew?
Yeah. Have
Like,
you read the stories like what he used to do back in like the 70s and 80s?
Like, did he did he not have his crew, a regular crew? Because the field's like making him botch every ball tonight.
I remember, I think, did he used to like he either left the grass thicker when like really good offenses would come to Chicago, or something with the dirt in front of home plate. He used to like manipulate the field based on what team was playing the White Sox.
And then didn't somebody come and they were like so particular they noticed that the mound was different? or the mound was like slightly altered. I think
Yeah.
Benetti told that story on a podcast, I think.
When's that Benetti Len Casper podcast? What's going on, Andrew? I'm looking forward to that.
That would be interesting.
What podcast was it that Benetti was on?
I really enjoyed. I don't know if you guys saw like in the off season when Jason Benetti and a couple of other announcers across the game, they did like those movie reenactments. I don't know if you guys saw those videos. Those are pretty entertaining.
All right, so more off. That one went well.
Ethan, I have some terrible news for you. It's confirmed Scott likes your cat more than he likes you. And I'm deeply sorry.
I'll take it.
That.
That's how like 90% of people in my life feel too.
Yeah.
And just because Scott likes my cat more than me doesn't mean he doesn't like me.
That's fair. He just might like your cat a lot. You know?
Exactly. I wonder where Garcia. I wonder how big that lead was off of first to get there.
Yeah, it seemed like he got there pretty quick.
He was already moving for sure.
Oh, did you guys hear that Corey Kluber left tonight's game with right shoulder tightness?
Ooh, no.
Oh, what a surprise.
I've been cheering for him hard.
Shoulder was what hit him all last year, right?
I think so, yeah.
How many innings did he pitch for Texas?
1, I believe.
1? I thought it was 1 or 1.1.
We're back, guys.
He was like mid-June. I think he's like around mid, you know. I'll say mid-June. Like, cool.
Is that
Yeah.
He's introduced, I think.
Say again,
let's
sir.
go. Archman David Garcia.
It's man, he had something pretty serious. And then Garcia was the offensive. Like,
That's Trent, right?
yeah. Or nothing.
Last week, he had some good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like everybody was really close to like games. Probably have a decent long rehab.
Sorry, I don't think anymore.
Yeah, that's gonna be really solid. I guess tie on. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, like it wasn't bad. Like to start it was like it was those. It was like there's no depth really.
Right.
Well, Montgomery had a problem with the home run ball, didn't he?
What was that?
Wasn't Montgomery giving up a lot of home runs?
I mean, I think so.
What's the 1, 2, 3? It's Cole, then
It was Kluber and right now it's Kluber and Tyon and Herman has been pitching too.
I wasn't sure where they went once like I stacked up.
I believe like at the start of the season it was Cole Kluber and Tyon. Or no, Tyon pitched the 6th game. Might have been Herman, honestly. But I know they were going easy on like they were gonna try to give Tyon additional days off when it was possible.
I think after that comeback, or it's like Gio was a bit rattled.
I would have expected Arenado to take third there.
I don't think he saw where the ball was until it was too late.
Probably cross up. Yeah, I gotta be.
Oof.
Yeah, I know we talked about it earlier, but this is some pretty weird stuff that Molina's doing. It's working though, but he's like he doubled his strikeout numbers.
Yeah, it's. I mean, his approach to the plate is totally changed. I don't know if he made that decision or if somebody told him, "Listen, man, you're 38 going on 39, just swing for the fences," or what happened. Or maybe he just realized he finally had some pop. Like, I don't know if because he played for contact so long in his career, and I think he carried that mentality when he was such a poor offensive player. I think he was probably just looking for anything, like just bat to ball. And then when he matured as a player, I don't think he ever moved on from bat to ball.
Yeah, so 2018, he was 38th percentile in exit velocity, and then 18th percentile, and then 4th percentile, and then 62 this year. And then obviously he's striking out like almost twice as much. But hey,
Andrew.
Yeah.
Adam Engel hit a home run in AAA today.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
Yeah, it's surprising to say that he's going to be a big addition to the team when he gets, activated off the IL. But he was like really good last year.
Well, he did. Yeah, he still got that swing.
Yeah.
Was it a righty or a lefty though?
It would be nice if it was off a righty.
It was off a righty.
Yes.
his knock is he only hit lefties.
Yikes. Matt Carpenter's batting average is lower than Yasmani Grandel's. That's pretty hard to do.
I don't.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't. I really do not. I don't.
Wasn't Carpenter a pretty good hitter before?
Oh, yeah.
Carpenter was a super consistent, great hitter for so long, and for the last 3 years, he's been nigh unplayable. And I don't like. I understand tenure, I understand tradition, but I don't understand why they keep.
Did he get hurt or something?
He got hurt, if I remember correctly. I think it was a shoulder issue, but that was years ago, and now he's just old.
Well, a shoulder issue can mess up a swing.
Yeah, Ethan. So I want to run through this with you. So I want to say like 13 was the first year that he was like a stud.
Yeah,
because he started walking a bunch and he was like pulling fly balls a ton and stuff. And then so he was good for a while. And then 18, I'm pretty sure I want to say like April and May he was like horrible.
Yep.
And then June he hit he was just like absurd.
He was like on an MVP tear.
And, didn't he finished like third in MVP voting or something?
He had votes. I don't know about third, but he had votes.
Yeah, no, but he was like a candidate. And then and like you said, like he's just been like borderline unplayable. And then like maybe the injury stuff was like more but so like this year, a couple of weeks ago when he hit his like first home run, it was like this huge thing, and he got like a curtain call and everything, and I don't know. It's a very strange timeline for him, I feel like.
So it's the reason he got such a big curtain call and it was like such a big deal is not only was it like quote a long time coming, but he had like 7 or 8. Oh, that was a changeup. Stays with it. Nice. He had like 7 or 8 batted balls in a row that had exit velocities of like 102 and their expected batting average was like 720 and like it would have been a home run in 8 out of 30 parts or whatever. And it was just like over and over and over. And people were like, come on, like, come on, BABIP. Like, what are you doing? And so when he hit the home run, it was like all of that came to fruition finally. But hard hit rate doesn't correlate to being a good player. Like you can hit the ball hard all day long, but if you're lofting it 1,000 foot in the air for it to drop back down in the infield, it doesn't matter.
Right.
That year where he was like third in the MVP, I had him on my fantasy team that year, like April and May. And I'm a pretty patient guy when it comes to fantasy baseball. And I think I had dropped him like the end of May. And then, of course, he's like the greatest hitter in baseball the rest of the season. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Let me get confirmation.
It felt at one point like he was hitting 2 home runs every 3 days. Like, I mean, the last half he hit like, 20 plus home runs?
Yeah, he finished with 36 that year, which is
Scott, he was the best hitter of all time for 1 month in 2018.
I think off of John Lester, against the Cubs, it might have been Arrieta or somebody different. I think he had 3 home runs and was it like 2 doubles?
He went 5 for 5 with 3 homers and 2 doubles.
Let me see if I can get it.
This is the injury I was thinking of. He had a right foot contusion. He was hit on the foot, and they thought it was a fracture. And it's his stepping foot, so it's the foot he loads with. And I think they talked about him having such a hard time getting back to loading efficiently with that foot. So I think it probably threw his mechanics off pretty wildly. That was in early 2019. Or not early, I guess it was July, mid 2019. But he was already a bad hitter by then, I think. I was like 20% convinced. 20% is hefty. I'll say I was 14% convinced. Like a part of me thought that he might get DFA'd after spring training because he was he was so atrocious, and it wasn't like it was a spot start where he was just like in a slump. Like he had been consistently poor for so long, and bench spots are definitely valuable, as you guys know. Especially when Pujols came on the market. I was like, well, if we're going to trade one batter for one poor hitter for one poor hitter, like, that's probably the way to do it.
Well, Pujols' savant page has been pretty good this year.
Yeah, that too.
But like you guys said, just said, but if you're, going to hit the ball in the air, and Pujols' case the ball on the ground, Pujols is an automatic double play candidate, if you hit the ball hard on the ground. So
I do appreciate, like, the mainstream baseball media starting to incorporate more stats into their evaluations of players, but it is really frustrating when all you see are beat writers and stuff talking, he's hitting hard, he's on the way, he's coming, and not like, yes, he is hitting the ball hard, that is a great metric of success, but there's the net, which is like, okay, you got to hit the ball hard where there's not people catching it, and you can hit the ball all day long, and it doesn't have to be an indicator of success, as Mike Carter has so succinctly proved this year.
So he's been like killed by the shift.
That and flyouts. Like he'll fly out to the warning track. Like I said, if you look at like the home runs in parks, he had one game where he would have like a double and 2 home runs in like 4 out of 30 parks or something like that. But 360 to right or 340 to right, whatever. In the air, hard hits great in 2 parks. Which stadium's not one of them. Yeah, when I think of people who have been affected by the shift, I feel like nationally Matt Carpenter comes to mind. I feel like everyone can't hit over the shift. Or against the shift, I should say.
Yeah, notable Phillies legend Ryan Howard as well.
That's it.
That's been a big thing for Gary Sanchez, I feel like, too. Is that, like, he still hits the ball, like, super hard. But, like, his expected stats are just, like, super low because he hits into the shift all the time, and he's obviously really slow.
The worst part about that conversation for me, that rhetoric, is I remember one time, it may have been 18 or 19, I can't remember, it was I think it was 19, I think it was last year, when he was struggling, and everybody was on, right side of second base, and he bunted for a hit. Like, why doesn't he do that every at bat? It was like the most frustrating existence for 4 straight days.
What are your guys' thoughts on the shift? You guys think that they should, restrict the shift like 2 guys on each side of second base. Infield has to have, one foot on the infield dirt.
I think they should limit the amount of shifts you do in a game.
We'll put a number on it.
Like I was thinking, like you have like a point where you can do about like 5, 7 a game or something like that. And make strategic when you want to use a shift.
With the shift being counted as like somebody stepped over second base.
Yeah, basically, you move depending on if you're down by a certain amount of runs, certain situation, make it more strategic to just basically the norm of every single batter.
Also, so it took me far too long, but Carpenter.
I think that would help a lot, get more balls in play too, because like that way, it'll help a little bit too. I think as well, because like, you into more of a strategic thing versus more of a routine thing.
What do you got, Chapman?
So Carpenter in July of 18, 114 plate appearances, 11 home runs, and his slash line was 333, 447, and he slugged 774 for a WRC plus of 216.
That's my max.
Now it appears one other qualified hitter with a higher WRC plus in that month. I want to hear a guess as to who it is.
Man.
And there's a connection. I'll give it. So the only clue is that there's a connection in this game.
It's got to be Jose Abreu. Be one of the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a hot Cardinal.
Fielders.
I don't know. It's really hard to think about other hot players. Tommy Edman?
All right, that's your guess. You already got a guess for me?
What was it?
Freak.
So Carpenter's July of 18, he had a 216 WRC plus.
Man.
There was one other quality hitter with a higher WRC plus in that month, and there's that player is connected to this game as well. Who do you guess?
Wait, what month? What year are you talking about?
July 18, 2018.
So the players in this game.
They're the other player is connected to this game.
Yachty?
No way.
I don't know. I'm just who's on this.
It's world famous Los Angeles Dodger Yasmani Grandal.
No.
Okay.
With he's on base of 488 and he slugged 727. So
Notable postseason backup catcher Yasmani Grandal.
I love adding notable in front of absolutely anything. You'll get me to laugh every time.
Was that Austin Barnes?
You guys, good stuff.
Drew?
Yeah, that was that year Austin Barnes was like really.
Dodgers
Yeah, that's exactly
have
right.
like 4 quality starting catchers.
I am curious what's it. Because Tommy Edman on a tear in 2019. That's how he stayed team. Let's find out.
Was that 19 his rookie season?
Yeah.
Man, Mahada's got to start hitting the ball at the ballpark. Bet 3 for us. And he's home runs.
The whole team isn't hitting home runs, Andrew.
I know. Hit the ballpark. Come on. The 05 team had more home runs.
No. After home run, hitting 100.
It's all about the ball, boys.
The reporters after home run hit 300.
I don't think 9 McMadrigals would be a very good baseball team.
I told Andrew Vaughn, don't want the home run. Worry about hitting 300. Everybody wants to see the home run. I told them, hit 300. Home runs will come.
Hey, man. Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah, philosophical question.
Hey, you asked about home runs? You asked about home runs?
Go foul.
MVP, baby.
I saw my phone go up, and I'm like, oops, they come.
That's not good.
Do you like this
That's gone.
lights thing that they do?
I think it's cool.
I'm going to have to take an
I
experiment.
think it's too dark.
I actually like it.
That was a bomb.
Yes, it was. What was that? It was July.
What's the hanger again?
So you're saying he just hit a ball to right field? That's what you're saying? That's what screwed the home run?
What was it they kept saying, like, anytime in the playoffs last year, again, just like to the opposite field, a professional hitter. Oh, that guy's a professional hitter.
It's one of my favorite non-political sayings in baseball.
Yeah, professional hitter. Every single person there is literally a professional hitter.
Exactly. 8 out of the 9 players on the field are professional hitters.
Yeah, that's their
Yeah, then it's literally 9 out of 9. Oh, Tyler Webb's warming up. That's never good.
Andrew Vaughn's got to take Flaherty deeper the first.
Flaherty is way too enraged to let another guy go deep off of him.
He'll just walk off if he does.
Yeah, it's always a little concerning when Flaherty has a rough outing because he posts way too many Joker quotes on Twitter or on.
I've heard something that the fan base just hates Flaherty because of the way he carries himself, like the social justice stuff and whatnot. And he was getting his case about that stuff, like, "Oh, worry about pitching, don't worry about this." And
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
like,
I'm also like I'm a pretty atypical Cardinals fan. I feel like
he'll support for social justice and rights type of things, and and they see people in Twitter's kind of like, "Oh, focus on pitching."
I'm pretty confident that's true. Yeah, that's the stuff I try to like and support.
Well, everyone says that about Trevor Bauer. Focus on pitching. Focus on pitching.
Yeah, I think you could probably say that about every single prominent player in the game if they try to support something. There's going to be somebody in the comments saying focus on the game.
Yeah, but I just think it's mostly like some weird Cardinals fans who are doing that because I think Missouri has those types of people. I don't know. Not to be.
Yeah,
White Sox
Missouri's pretty blue. Reason that they're nationally liked though, that didn't just come from nowhere. Yeah, forcing it right down the way. It's the one.
That is professional the one. Hitter right there.
Yeah.
Just a quality at bat.
Oh, there you go, Vaughn. Nice. Spielberg just passed Goldschmidt.
And Schilte has seen enough after 7 runs.
So Ethan, you said Tyler Webb's a problem, and Quinn in the HotMic chat says that you'd rather have a position player. So
well, it's funny because last year I pulled up the stats because I was trying to remember. Last year Tyler Webb was pretty good, very good for us. I was never a huge Tyler Webb fan when he came over, but he was okay, but I just never felt comfortable with him pitching because he's like a prototypical soft lefty guy, so 90-91 with some breaking stuff. And last year he was great for us, actually. He was commanding the zone really well. And this year he's just been, Matt Carpenter was better on the mound than him. Matt Carpenter is their only pitcher with a 0.0 ERA this year. So.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Mike Petriello tweeted, "We're about 90 minutes away from Matt Carpenter pitching to your mean Mercedes, and I hope it gets to 3-0."
Matt Carpenter won't take him to 3-0. That's a quick 0-2 count.
Yeah.
Carpenter is a professional pitcher.
Hey! It's only a 7-2 game, not 15-4.
Yeah.
So the Roos is going to be totally fine with it.
So we haven't really dug into that. We kind of dug in at the beginning, but how many more shots do you think La Russa has to be on his guy's side before he loses that clubhouse totally?
I think he's already lost it a little bit.
Because I think when you see Tim Anderson and guys coming out on social media supporting Yermin, publicly being yo, keep you doing you, we got your back, that's already creating a divide, players versus management type situation. So you think he's partially lost it? Why don't you think he's totally lost it?
Maybe he has. I think it's one of those things where it's I'm sure there's guys that don't respect him as their boss, but it's they just have to suck it up and play for him,
Mm-hmm.
Or, I guess some guys it's no, I'm playing for myself. I'm not playing for this guy.
Right.
Well, the one thing is, this is clubhouse culture is not a problem. It's more of just respect for the manager might be the issue, but these guys all get along. There's not an issue where they don't really. It's a internal problem. I think it's more of the players versus the manager, not as far as the player versus the players.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't see the clubhouse. If the clubhouse isn't going to collapse, there just might be a disconnect between the players and the manager sometimes. But I think everything is generally fine. It's just that they have different views.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get too concerned about it becoming a problem because it's not like we're going to have a 15-4 3 situation happen every game.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any incidents between any of the players and La Russa themselves getting in a dispute or an argument or anything like that. So I think it's pretty good right now. Obviously, the team's doing really well, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, this series was another litmus test for them, I think, because this is the first place team, regardless of a weaker division. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, they're at home, which helps. But now they got to go do four Baltimore, 3 of Detroit, which is going to be generally pretty easy. You would think. I mean, they still lost 89 games, so
Yeah.
they had some pretty competitive games. The Tigers, I remember in 2019, the Sox, so they had a lot of interesting games.
Going into the year,
But some publications.
Yeah, all the sports books had Sox winning Division 2.
The Twins, to me, are one of the most overrated teams I've ever seen the past couple of years because of the Bomba Squad ball club in 2019.
mm-hmm.
That was a year. That was a special year. Every single player on their team had career years. I mean, Jorge Polanco had 30 home runs. Are you kidding me? And then also health wise, all their 9 starting players had healthy seasons. That's not you can't replicate that.
Right, it all lined up.
And also, Garver was the best hitter in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Garver career year, Jorge Polanco career year.
Jake Cave was doing stuff too when he got to play. But this year, I mean, that team has just been ravaged by injuries, and then Mieda's just got hurt, and he was also not pitching well. And now the bullpen they cobbled together after losing 4 guys is not good. They signed Shoemaker and Hapas, and they've both been horrible. So the GM deserves some blame. For the bullpen, and then the 2 starting pitchers they signed.
Well, the bullpen, they pretty much revamped the entire bullpen.
Yeah, they lost Trevor May, Mas Whistler,
Tyler
Clippard.
Clippard.
They lost 3 or 4 guys in that pen. So they got our old closer Kalme. Kalka was new. One of the first sellers Cruz and Barrios might go because Barrios another year of control.
Really, only 1 more year?
Yeah, Barrios has got 1 more year. I think he does, or 2 more years.
Sounds about right.
I would love to have Barrios.
Painted that one.
Another high change.
Nice.
Wow. Literally on the black.
That's so, I don't know, high off speed is just so strange to me. I feel like that's just such a horrible idea. But I remember, I think it was last year, or 2 years, I don't know, but I was watching Rich Hill, when he was on the Dodgers, he was pitching in the playoffs, and his curveball was like pretty consistently like upper half, and it's just I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like so unexpected that it's good.
Yeah.
But I also don't know that
I like the
Giolito's
high
technically
curveball as a
high.
pitch. Just because I think it throws off the hitter. I mean, you don't really expect, you think, oh, that pitch is high. It's not coming down, and then drops in for a strike. Yeah, but like a high changeup, I mean, that's tough to execute that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that is a good question. I wonder if it was a strategy thing or if he missed a spot and found it effective and then incorporated it intentionally into his game. I'd probably lean towards the latter, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Gio's not one to nibble, though, right? Like, he's pretty much attack mode.
Oh, yeah.
Giolito. He sometimes has trouble with his command with missing up it.
So has he had any? He had one blow up start. Was it against the Red Sox?
Yes.
That's a really bad start.
Is that his worst start of the year, or has he had a similar one?
He had another bad start too. Was it the first start? No, it was. Was it the second start? I think.
You could say it was a Tiger start, but he got left into one.
So when he is struggling, is it a command issue or
I think it's a mental
lack of breaking?
issue.
A mental?
I think it's he gets derailed, his confidence. He lacks that like big time ace pitcher confidence. Like I'm better than you. Yes, exactly. Type of confidence.
The Max Scherzer approach.
I disagree with Andrew there. I'm sorry.
Like we talked about,
I think it's more about mechanical. He'll lose his release point, or he'll start missing command. I don't think it's anything to do with this.
Yeah, like we talked about his development of a third pitch, like a breaking ball, like a next step for Giolito. But I also think like that confidence that, hey, it's okay to give up let's just say like a 3-run homer in the first inning, but you got to go out there and give us, another 5 or 6 innings.
He's got a little smile on his face right now. He's got a little smirk. Yeah, I really enjoyed reading a lot about his turnaround, about the mental side of it, about how he sought out, remapping his brain and all of that stuff, not the mechanics stuff, which is interesting, but talked about way too much. I liked hearing about the psychological aspect of his rejuvenation, I guess.
Yeah, I know a lot of the White Sox pitchers are into the mental side of the game. I know Dylan Cease is into yoga and meditation. Obviously, like Michael Kopech, when he was on his Tommy John recovery, he was big into hiking, getting into the mountains, and like refreshing your brain and all that stuff.
I also like that when Kopech was saying how he would study pitchers like Garrett Cole, Jacob DeGrom, he'd study top elite pitchers in the game. Those two, I found that really inspiring as far as what he does. And then, I think he aspires to be like those guys, which is basically, he has ace pitcher stuff, so you would probably think that's a good mindset for him to aspire to.
No way, they have Joe West shirts?
That's what I was about to say. That's kind of sick.
People are wearing commemorative Joe West shirts. So.
Maybe that's a commemorative Joe West shirt.
And also, back to the most important thing here with the chicken that's roaming guaranteed rate. So I'm seeing a lot of shots going between Joe West and the chicken. So maybe there is some kind of connection.
Where's Joe West from?
I think so. Maybe he you know what? I think he threw out that bird.
That's possible.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Possible. Maybe that's it. Let me see if I can find something on that.
Joe West bird.
Joe West and the San Diego chicken. Let's see.
The research that really matters.
He let the San Diego chicken strangle him with a towel.
Oh my God.
What? Dang it, Chicago Tribune. They don't like ad block.
What's going on?
Hold on. All right. Where are we going here? All right. Joe West let the San Diego chicken strangle him with a towel during a game at Wrigley in a stage act that entertained the crowd.
All right.
That's not a sentence I ever thought I would utter.
He's got
Oh yeah,
kind
and
of
there's a images of the San Diego chicken handing him flowers. Fascinating.
This is big time developments here.
Oh God. Whew.
what I missed.
I'm hoping you guys have seen the Naked Gun movie.
Of course.
Yeah, you guys know that Joe West is in that movie.
I did know that.
Yeah,
I believe.
much younger.
Dashing young lad, Joe West.
80 years younger. It can't be argued that he has an umpire's name, though. Cowboy Joe West, that just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. I think my favorite, among my favorite things just about baseball in general, is that, like, if you played before 1925, there has to be some kind of adjective
Absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
like very far removed noun in your name. Like high pockets or
Yeah.
shoeless.
Old Hoss Radborn.
Yeah.
The only Nolan.
There's a sad Sam Jones, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No one knows why he was just so damn sad all the time.
Yeah, I love the nicknames too. Like all the all-time greats from like you just said, like before 1925 had these nicknames, and that's just how you refer to them.
Yep.
You use that nickname.
It's just they're also whimsical. It's all like
Yes.
slapping Johnny Periwinkle. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Slappy. Oh, what happened? What happened to this country?
Yeah, we made a grave mistake getting rid of that.
Oh God, that's if I ever need to entertain myself, I just go on Baseball Reference and I look up players from like the 20s to the 30s, and it's always such a good time.
Yeah. I remember I was looking at like a Cleveland Spiders lineup or something, and there was just a list of absolutely elite names.
A tier names, S tier names, in fact.
Dick Pole.
What's that?
The name was like Dick Pole.
Oh, that's a good one. Not bad.
Then the Royals first baseman Rusty Coons.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's low hanging fruit. I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, it's too easy. It's just like hanging right there.
One of my favorites is Baby Doll Jacobson.
Yeah, and you have to wonder how did they arrive at that?
Right.
Yeah.
That was quite the tag there.
Anytime you see one that's like toe tickling Timmy Johnson, it's like, wait a minute, whose toes was he tickling? Like,
Yeah.
and how did he
how
do
many
it so
did-
consistently that it stuck?
Right, yeah. He had to have tickled more than one time in order for that to hang around,
Just hiding under the bleachers or in the dugout, just taking people's cleats off.
Who was old Aches and Pains? It was one of the White Sox guys, I think. Luke Appling or Louis Aparicio?
Luke
I
Appling.
don't know that I've heard that.
Appling?
Yeah. Oh, Lakes and
Yeah, I like that one too.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Just shy of the 3,000 run club or the 3,000 hit club.
Yeah, I missed that 1 year to the military, World War II.
Sosa's got his foot in
Didn't
front
they
of
all?
the bag.
Yeah.
Could have possibly been saved if Sosa's foot was in front of the bag.
Yeah, that was a weird tag.
Like Sosa's block. Yeah, he could have possibly been saved if Sosa didn't block the base. Madrigal had a lot of steals in minor leagues. I don't know why he hasn't had success with it in the majors. He had like 30-something steals in the minors in 2019.
Well, like so did Moncada. I feel like so many got like stolen bases, especially like in the minor leagues, don't really mean that much. Just because it's like so many guys when they reach the major leagues, it's like, oh, you're a best hitter, you can't steal now. Because like Moncada hasn't really stolen to the rates. Even like Luis Robert, I don't think to the extent that he did in the minor
Maybe
league.
they're just maybe the pitchers are not really taught slide steps as much. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like they don't really try. I don't know.
Well, did you guys see? And I think it's either low A or high A ball. I think it's high A. That pitchers are required to step off the mound before making a pickoff.
Throwovers.
And like the stolen base rate has went way up.
So I think, I genuinely think that a larger bag would solve a lot of like stolen base attempts would be up, like beating out infield stuff would go up. Like marginally, it wouldn't like skyrocket, but.
Well, there's the Flowers.
Yep.
Seeing that now.
Oh.
What a sweet moment.
Yeah. Future Hall of Famer right there.
Don't put umps in the Hall of Fame anymore.
Yeah, I just looked. There's 10 umpires in the Hall of Fame.
And they stopped
all of
putting
them
him
are,
in
like,
there.
pictures, except one.
I wonder if
How does an ump earn Hall of Fame status? Because like an ump's just doing their job.
Yeah, I think it's just, are you respected in the game?
the thing
I mean,
if
players
you
are just
last
doing
over
their job,
5,000 games, then like you're consistently good enough where you're not getting fired. I think that's the impressive part.
And like with Joe West, he's the head of the umpire association or committee or whatever, and he's been that for years.
Ooh, that was a filthy slider.
You guys happen to have a favorite umpire?
Oh, good question.
No.
I'm sure I do. I just need a list.
My favorite umpire is Ted Barrett. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
Yeah, that was on the top of my short list.
The first name that came to my head was Laz Diaz, so I'm gonna go with Laz Diaz.
Oh no, he's like one of my least favorite umpires.
I don't know.
Andrew doesn't like Laz Diaz.
Yeah. He's on
Do
my
not
short
talk about Laz Diaz around Andrew.
Laz Diaz, Mark Wagner, Joe West.
I think Tim Hallion is definitely up there for me because I love his punch out.
What are you doing, Wagner?
Yeah, I like Ted Barrett. He's that really tall guy. I think he used to be on Joe West's crew. He's actually with Angel Hernandez this year. So he's that really tall guy. He actually was an amateur boxer. So what I like about him is like anytime there's a fight, he just gets in there and just pushes managers or players away.
I don't know how I knew that. You sparked that in my brain. How did I know that?
It's on his Wikipedia page.
Believe it or not, I don't make a huge habit of reading through Major League Umpire Wikipedia pages.
How in the world do you have a gig here? It's like a requirement.
You're right. Honestly, I ask myself that all the time. Oof. He's had a pretty good zone tonight.
That's what 5,000 games will do to you.
No diminishing returns.
How has Arenado been hitting at home compared to on the road this year?
So he's having like a career year. Like he's definitely not. I'm not literally a career year, but he's having like the Coors effect is not applying. But I haven't actually looked at his splits. That's a good question.
I was at least this was the case earlier. Yeah. So he's his WRC plus is 135, which is like pretty in line with his. He's usually floats right around 130. And I thought that was a good sign for like the reliability of that stat. Just that like he maintained a similar level in
So-
and out of course.
He's hitting 261 at home, 308 away. He's got all of it. He's 5-5 home runs, home and away. I mean, he's pretty much like down the middle.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. His splits being more closer together.
Mm-hmm. They're not. I think everybody. There wasn't like a huge concern, but there was definitely a portion of the Cardinals population who thought we were bringing on a bum who couldn't hit outside of Coors.
Yeah.
It's actually so interesting. There's like a pretty wide divisional split between fans who were actually kind of frustrated. In fact, our own Mick Callahan didn't like the move because of Nolan Gorman, the prospect who had to shift from third to second base in order to make room for Nolan.
I personally am not that high on Nolan Gorman. I think he's another one of those 3 true outcome type hitters.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only hitter I think that is big time Coors is Charlie Blackmon. And
Yeah, there's probably a good case for that.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of another one.
the teacher of the Mayhew broke it, and so did
Or Larry Walker.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think-
When
I think for the
Story
most
leaves,
part-
he'll break it too.
Yeah, I think for the most part that effect is a bit overblown, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you hit so bad on the road.
But there's also there's effects that that environment does to you once you leave it. And
I was
when
gonna
you're
say
in
it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lingering,
right. In that environment,
legitimate physiological changes
Right,
that have
yeah.
happened. I was pretty interested in the Clayton Kershaw Zach Greinke matchup tonight, and Kersh has 69 pitches through 6 1/3.
Oh,
That's
He's
good.
cruising.
Yeah.
getting revenge for that 2017 Game 5. That's a shame. That to me was my favorite game I've ever watched.
That was a
5 of the
fantastic game.
2017 World Series. And to know that it's tainted.
You got to just take entertainment at face value sometimes.
Yeah.
Is how I cope with it. That's what I tell myself at night.
Looks
Pop
like
some melatonin and say it's just a game.
Corbin Burns has fallen off the face of the earth. He walked 3 guys.
No way.
Really?
He still pitched okay, but
Yeah, I was proud that Tommy Edman was the first guy to draw a walk off of him.
yeah.
Wow, Webby's back out there. Good for you, Tyler. Bringing that ERA down.
Go noted outgetter Tyler Webb. To you.
It'll never not be funny. Yeah, he's having himself a hell of an outing right here.
Grade A rec specs too.
Yeah, he's such a nerd. Like, he's such a doughboy. I mean that in the most respectful way possible. He earns a living playing a game, and I'm envious of every single pitch he throws, and I wish I could be doing that, but he is such an accountant.
I feel like a good chunk of like all pitchers have that sort of feeling to them.
Oh yeah, they're all soft doughboys. Like, their bodies belong on a beach in Venice. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Andrew Chafin, one of my favorites.
Madison Bumgarner would like a word.
I often go back to that like
Chapman.
that rodeo thing with Bumgarner.
Oh
That's
my
like,
god.
that is just incredible.
That's so Bumgarner.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, the fact that like you're willing to put like millions and millions and millions of dollars on of a voided contract on the line just to get your you need your rodeo kicks. You know what I mean?
And I like it. I think the biggest part is that like it could not be more fitting than that.
Absolutely not.
Do you guys remember his it was like a 10-15 second stare down with Joe West?
Yeah.
That was insane.
I want to say he's done that more than one time.
I was gonna say
I'm sure of it.
I'm thinking about a bunch of stare downs he's had.
Yeah.
The dude's
Also
low
very-
key. I feel like most of like the intensity you think of like like Max Scherzer and guys like that who are like psychopaths on the mound, but Mad Bum is definitely like up there.
Nature though, it's more like I don't know. It's more subtle, but also like more threatening.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's the South in him. I think it's like being from
Yeah.
the South. He's like, I gotta be polite about it, but I'm still gonna kill him.
Looks like our,
I didn't know he was capable of joking until he thanked Rob Manfred for 7-inning games. Almost died.
What was that?
When he threw his 7-inning no-hitter,
Yeah.
all he said was he thanked the shadows in the stadium, and he thanked Rob Manfred for making 7-inning games, and then he walked away.
Nice. Good for him.
What do you guys think? Do you count that as a no-hitter?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah, so do I.
Because it
Because,
counts as a
like-
regulation win. Like, it counts as a win. Like, if
Yeah.
that's going to count
And
as a
also,
win.
like,
then-
The biggest thing is that like from the start, if like knowing what we know now, like it was impossible. Like from the very first pitch, it was impossible for him to throw a no hitter.
Can you guys see me now?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I lost connection, and then I had to restart my computer to get back in here. But back to what I was saying that Platinum was a core product, so I think Dexter Fowler was part of that who broke it too. Except they hit outside of quarters, and
Well, he can't hit anymore.
I was
I
going to
know,
say,
but I'm
he didn't
just-
hit for us.
I'm
Those
just
days
saying when he
passed.
left, when he got to the Cubs, he was fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he earned his contract.
Because he was basically the leadoff hitter they never had.
Tell us about this guy, Junior Fernandez. Is he a big-time prospect?
Junior in his 27 ERA.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was part of the huge taxi squad last year when we needed so much bullpen help for the doubleheaders and stuff. He made a pretty good impression, and then he came into spring training this year throwing a pretty good, increased velo and his breaking
I
stuff.
guess he had one bad appearance.
He said he hasn't super consistent, which always he's never been like he was good because he had to be in 2020, if that makes sense. And he just doesn't have experience. He just needs growth. And I think the lack of a minor league season really affected him. I think it would have done spades for him to go back down and refine his stuff. but our bullpen has been so tenuous this year. I mean, we have guys like Johan Oviedo, who's made spot starts for us, who really needs one more year in the minors or just more development. And that's a huge problem that Junior Fernandez has right there. Overthrowing the ball, not spotting up, just like trying to throw 99 past guys, but not finding the zone.
That is a really bad mess.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Jose Ruiz type of thing, Andrew. We saw early on.
Oh yeah.
Ethan, are you
hard but missing?
Am I a what?
Are you a fan of the John Gant move to the rotation? I was curious.
Yeah, I think a 6-man rotation is probably good for us right now because. Ooh. What
that sinker! Oh my, that sinker was way off the plate.
Oh, the yanked, yeah. Yeah, I think we needed a 6-man rotation because Carlos Martinez being out, Miles Michaelis being out.
A balk.
Oh, haven't seen one of those in a while. Good for you.
Notable balk caller Joe West.
He's great at that. And Gant's always been consistently good for us. Like, he's never been lights out. He's never been bad. He's always just been, like, a great pitcher. Like, I've never felt worried when John Gant comes in the game. I'm like, he might give up a run or two, but he's never going to, like, end our chances. So I think and he came up as a starter. Like, he moved to long relief because our rotation was full of guys, and now our rotation's not full of guys.
Oh, I'm so behind. I just saw the ball happen.
Yeah.
Gant's rocking the 2.04 ERA with a 4.13 FIP right now.
Yeah.
But neither of those are, he hasn't been bad by any means, really.
Mm-mm.
He's walked a lot of guys this year, right?
Yeah, Gant's always struggled with the free pass. That's always been like his big weak point. Because the fastball, it's like 92. It's got some good movement to it. The Vulcan change is plus. Great curveball. Like, he's got the stuff. I love that Vulcan change. I love the way it moves.
The Vulcan. Really?
Yeah, I love the way that thing moves. Notable Vulcan change thrower, John Gant.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I can't tell you another pitcher in the game that I know that throws the Vulcan.
MVP.
It's not a brave. Stocks have built a snowman.
Last year when Abreu won his MVP, I wouldn't call myself like passionate about like who wins the MVP. I like thinking about I like who gets awards and stuff like that. And like at the end of the year, I was like under the impression that Jose Ramirez was just like,
oh no, you're not one of those guys, are you?
What do you one of what guys?
That's a big thing here at Diamond Digest.
Was it? Yeah, I wasn't around.
MVP.
Yeah, well, no, just like
J-Ram didn't come on until end of the year, though. That's the thing. Yeah. Brave had a year that was so good outside of the first 2 weeks of the season when he was like hitting a ball on the ground constantly.
Good tag.
Yeah, I didn't know I was striking a chord here. I wasn't around in those days, but like at the end of the year,
J-Ram had like a hot last 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, I mean, I just like at the end of the year, I was under the impression like, okay, like Ramirez is gonna win, and then he didn't.
I'm surprised you were on that LeMahieu. I'm surprised you were on the LeMahieu train.
No, I'm a reasonable guy, Jordan.
Or Voigt.
Oh, Voigt, I miss you.
I mean, if you look at Abreu and Ramirez, Abreu led in a lot of categories, although some of them are like old school categories, but he led in games and hits, which I like to see. And then obviously he led slugging percentage, total bases, RBI for the old stats as well. And Ramirez didn't do anything.
It was RBIs in the American League, I think it was.
OPS plus, Abreu was 2 points better than Ramirez.
Well, what kind of put him on that tire was that Cubs series.
Oh yeah, the 603 games.
Yeah. He had four in like the whole golf series.
Be back in a second.
Here, bang, 240, 340, 460, 18 OPS.
strike.
Cowboy Joe says it's not a strike. It's not a strike.
Oh, maybe because he saw it tailing in at second. Because it started out as a ball and it moved in. I guess that's what he probably had to see. That's why he's moving to the left of to the right of the catcher right now, so you can see the zone.
Oh no,
Wow, it got down.
Robert would have had that.
Wow, a 2-for-3 night for Carpenter.
Right,
When's the last time he did that?
That's unfortunate.
July of 2018.
That was well timed. That was good. I like that.
Thanks a lot, Joe West. You just took Cody Horror's strikeout away.
June 2021.
Yep.
It's gonna be a great month for Matt Carpenter.
It's gonna be something none of us expected.
That is the first time. Oh wait, no, I lied. Hold on, making sure, double checking, doing my homework. That is the first 2-hit game for Carp this year.
Oh,
So-
man.
That's
Andrew, so Fegan's like, the bullpen used to protect the 8-2 lead for Giolito to be declared the coolest kid at Harvard Westlake School.
Oh boy.
Declared the coolest kid.
Yeah. I can see that.
And that is also the first double recorded for him this year.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
3 home runs, no doubles.
Atta boy, yo.
Oh, nice charge play.
Yeah, that was
Nice play.
athletic.
Has Hoyer been as good as he was last year, White Sox guys?
Not as good, but his strikeout to walk ratio is really good.
Yeah, he hasn't been as better. He's been giving up a lot more contact this year.
That arm action makes my shoulder ache.
Yeah.
He's got a huge reach back.
And he throws a lot of sinkers and changeups.
Very Dustin May-like.
He
Right,
relies a lot on that sinker. But he can go up to 99. It's a pretty tough pitch to hit.
Yeah, he's given up a lot of hits this year, but he's only walked 2 guys and struck out 23 in 20 and a third innings.
So he's just kind of like attacking. When he misses his spot, he gets punished.
Yeah. His FIP is probably pretty good then. Let me
Mhm.
check that out.
310.
Yeah, he's a 3.10 FIP, but a 5.40 ERA.
Yeah, that checks out. If you strike out that many and walk that few, you're probably doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has good stuff.
Oh man. I imagine this is what the Marlins felt like last year, like watching half their team beat AAA. Oh.
Or the Mets this year.
Man, that was hard. How hard do you hit that ball?
Oh, nice play, yo.
.98.4. I'm getting.
Yep. That was a well-struck ball. 640 batting average expected. Get down. Yes.
Maybe I only notice when it works out this way, but I feel like pretty often when there's like about pitching matchups, they always just like end up in these just like messy, grimy games.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, missed call causes the run. Put that on Joe West, not according to his ERA.
I don't know if that's something they can do.
Too bad I'm making it happen. You got to give an ERA to Joe West.
I think that was. Need to check.
That is umpire earn run average.
I think that was Max Moroff's first career RBI.
Really? And he's played for a couple seasons now.
Uh,
The Pirates and the Indians.
oh, you're right. You're right. That was his first for St. Louis. As I should clarify.
I was gonna say he's played for two other teams.
Yeah.
Never heard of the guy before, but if he's played for two other teams, like something that's kind of weird.
Yeah, first
Just been a
RBI
real
for St.
tough
Louis.
stretch for Morrow.
I don't follow role players like Andrew does. He knows all these role players that no one hears of.
I forgot he was with Pittsburgh for so long.
Yeah, I know him from seeing the Indianapolis Indians AAA team for the Pirates. I remember the name there, and then he got called up sometime that season, I think.
There was a season. You guys remember Caleb Joseph?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a year where he played like a lot of games and he had 0 RBIs.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't think it lasted, but like it was something ridiculous. He played like 60 games and he didn't have an RBI or something.
Oh my, that's not
I
a
think
few.
he finished that season with 0 RBIs. I'm pretty sure.
Let's find out.
Yeah, 2016, 0 RBIs. And he had
What was he hitting?
41 plate appearances.
What was he hitting in the lineup?
Plus. Wow.
He snuck his way into 3 games last year. Good for him. Yeah, 49 games. No RBI.
One of the worst trades the Cubs are made right there, Lubac.
That's one of the best fleeces ever It's like Lou Brock, then Nolan Arenado.
And the Zay Quintana trade. Notable fleecing.
Notable fleecing.
Theo's league, though, right? Theo's league.
Oh, man.
There we go.
Wow, Rich Hill had 13 strikeouts tonight?
Did he?
What?
Wow.
What happened?
How many
The guy
innings?
tore it up.
Yeah, I think that's probably worth a look here. He went 8 innings,
Wow.
6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 home run, 13 Ks.
Hell yeah.
And he took the loss. That's tough.
Dick Mountain throwing it.
Yeah. Talking about a good nickname.
That's an
Dick
excellent
Mountain.
Hard
Can't
to
do
beat
much
that.
better.
Cleveland won again tonight.
Who are they playing right now?
Tigers.
Oh, okay. How did Josh Naylor do?
I don't care about your Josh Naylor session.
You big Josh Naylor guy?
Yeah, I got him on one of my fantasy teams. I liked him when he was with San Diego, so
Right.
he's one of the few Cleveland guys that I actually like.
All right. I can sympathize with it.
Naylor did not play today.
Oh, he didn't? Left-handed pitcher. Oh, yeah, Tarek Skubal went tonight. That makes sense. Remember that now.
Twins are ahead of the Orioles in the 8th inning. Kansas City.
Damn, Rob Snyder has done really well with the Twins so far.
Kansas City 1-2 as well.
And he's playing center field for them.
Interesting.
So if we hold on, we're still a game and a half up on Cleveland.
No way, DJ Stewart took Alex Colomé deep again. Or
Just
I don't
now?
think he homered off of Colomé yesterday, but
Just now?
yeah, in this game. It was like last inning.
All right, so minus Trout, who is still qualified, who thinks they can name the top 5 WRC plus hitters right now?
Vlad
Castellanos.
Jr.
1.
Which one? Guerrero or Castellanos?
Oh, but those are both good. I didn't hear Castellanos.
Oh, okay.
Is it Jesse Winker one of them?
Jesse Winker is one of them.
Tatis. I don't know if
No, he's
probably
not qualified yet.
Mercedes?
No, he's number 11.
So we have 4 of them, or we have 3.
Yep.
Max
Yeah,
Muncy.
Guerrero, Winker, and Castellanos.
Oh yeah, Muncy.
Muncy, yeah, with his 460 on base.
That's a good one. Doesn't he leads the league in WAR?
Yeah, just saw that today.
Guerrero does.
Oh, does he now?
I'm looking at Fangraphs for. I don't know.
Yeah, B-War, Muncy leads.
Okay.
Guerrero's been hitting the piss.
So one other guy.
One other guy.
Is he the hardest?
What was that?
Is he the hardest guy out of the bunch?
I mean, he was really
is it
hot.
Shohei Ohtani?
No, I don't think he's.
Oh.
Or no, he is. He's 18th. You could say it's maybe the first one.
Is it like Adolis Garcia or something?
No, he's 17 though.
JD Martinez.
No, he's 9.
Rafael Devers.
That's a good one.
No, you're getting hot. There you go.
There's an enormous cup snake in the left field going at the game right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm actually interning with the Kane County Cougars, and there was a cup snake. The last game there was home game there. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, this cup snake's at least like 30 cups. Jesus
Really?
Christ!
And the fans actually got on the dugout in that game. Yeah.
Thatcher just put it in our chat.
Cubs fans aren't true fans. They only go there to party.
100% the truth.
And look at us hitting 100 followers on HotMic.
Yeah, big time.
What a milestone.
Huge.
We'd
Nothing like
thank
hit triple
the
digits.
Where's my award? I'd like to. Here, I have this thing. We would like to thank all of our loyal followers on HotMic for following us and enjoying these wonderful games.
Could not have done it without
nerds. Oh, there you go. You get a cat punch. Wow. Nicky Two Strikes quietly going 3 for 3. Okay, Fernandez starting him in.
Being the big Kelnick fan that I am, I'm really disappointed that we passed on Kelnick to take Madrigal.
Yeah, it's tough.
Fox haven't drafted a prep bat in the first round since Corey Hawkins. That's why.
Well, TA, right? Oh wait, no, TA went to college. What am I talking about?
He went to JUCO.
Yeah, that's why I got it confused.
I haven't looked into the numbers like extensively, but I know another big problem. I wouldn't call it a problem. I would call it a symptom of Junior Fernandez's struggles. Is his stuff is significantly straight, like that. The fastball, if he's not throwing the sinker, there's very little horizontal break to it. It doesn't really sink too much. Great spin rate on it, but unless he's throwing two seam, the four seam's just gonna ride forever.
Yeah, it was actually I kind of noticed that the sinker. I mean, it was more than like a four seamer, but it didn't have like a ton of movement, really.
Very little bite to it. Yeah,
It
it
sounds like
really just relies
sounds-
on velo.
that sounds like a Ronaldo Lopez problem.
Yeah.
The guy has no break on his fastball whatsoever, but he has stuff.
How has he been doing actually in AAA?
Not good.
Oh, really? Because his first start was pretty good, right?
Yeah, I was hoping like what I want them to do is like make him into a reliever because the Sox could use a
I
right-handed
agree.
reliever,
Yeah.
and they need help in a right. They need help in that. It's like why waste what he worked on with Katz and the Trout? They're paying him $3 million just in Charlotte because they took his arbitration money. And I'm like, you can instead of having him be a starter, have him be a bullpen guy. They need a right-handed
I mean,
reliever.
we talked about it earlier. Andrew Miller came up as a starter, and then look at him. He was like one of the best relievers in baseball, if not the best, for like 2 or 3 years.
I just think he's a guy who can come in like the seventh inning and just pump gas if he has the right stuff. I
That's
wouldn't
what I
call him
want
a
him to be too. He could be like a Swiss Army.
I don't think he could be a multi-inning guy, but I think he could be just a guy who comes in seventh or eighth and just pumps gas.
I think he could be a good setup man for sure.
Like what you want Jose Ruiz to be, basically, I would think.
Yeah.
I know. I just don't see the point of paying someone $3 million just to pitch in the minors all year. Not gonna lie to you, this pitching match was kind of disappointing tonight.
Oh yeah.
Both guys didn't have their best stuff tonight.
Yeah.
We got to watch fielding clinic instead, though, so it's all right.
Yeah. Not what we wanted. I mean, like I said, like this stream was this whole stream was to watch a pitching duel, and it was far from it.
You're a big Evan Marshall fan, right, Jordan?
I like Evan Marshall. He's just not having a good year. I like everybody in the pen except for Jose Ruiz, but a lot of the guys are not having a good year. Evan Marshall was an interesting find in 2019. He found like during the spring training, and he somehow stumbled onto the team, and he was like one of the best relievers we had in 2019. And then 2020, in 2020 he got his curveball going. He was unhittable. He was one of those guys who had a crazy story. He actually got hit in the head, and he was out. He had really bad head problems for a while.
I think he was close to dying. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he was hit. Yeah, he was. He was hit by
a big scar on the side of his head.
Yeah, he was hit by a line drive.
Cardinals have one
Did
of
that
those.
happen in the minor leagues or the majors?
Happened. I think it was with the Diamondbacks or something.
Yeah. Was it in the minors though? I think it was.
It might have been, but I think it wasn't a Diamondbacks organization when it happened though.
Yeah, he was a rookie with the Diamondbacks in 2014, I believe. Yeah.
Well, quality base.
But I think it was during that time when he got hit. Ooh, what the heck was that? He just stuck that through the shift there.
Just bat the ball.
That's why you don't shift.
Dylan Carlson has, even though, so technically he came up last year and played a good chunk of it, but this year is his rookie year. But
yeah,
he's
he almost
demonstrated
playing all the way to second base, almost like halfway to second base.
He's had such a good approach, such a mature approach for somebody so young. I mean, he's one of the best hitters in the lineup.
How did he look last season? Because obviously his numbers were not very good at all.
Yeah, he looked like a kid who was called up at the end of the year. You know, it looked like a team who was calling up prospect to get experience who wasn't going to playoffs. And you could see he was just overwhelmed. Like velo got to him, breaking stuff got to him, and he always succeeded in the outfield. He's always been a great defender, no problems there. The one thing that stuck out is he was hitting the crap out of the ball. He was smashing it. He wasn't successful. He wasn't putting them on the ground. He wasn't getting doubles or home runs. But, I mean, every plate appearance was 90, 95, 102, line drives. So it was all promising. It was all looking up. His chase rate was great. He was taking walks when he could. And he's kind of like put it together this year.
How is he in center field? Like, is he average in center field?
Yeah, he's not Harrison Bader. He's not going to make the 5-star Statcast plays. I mean, he has the opportunity to, I think, with maturity. But right now, I'm not uncomfortable with him in center.
Yeah.
And I think if we didn't have Harrison Bader, I think he'd probably play center exclusively. He definitely has that sort of intangible future team captain leader type aura, just because he's been like lauded in St. Louis for so long as like the next coming. Like, this is our guy. Like, this is who we're gonna lean on for the next 10 years or whatever.
When is Arenado's opt-out?
So he has one at the end of this year, and then he has another one that they baked into the contract with the trade after next year. So he has 2 opportunities to leave.
I don't think
he's
going
gonna
to
opt out.
And then they, as part of that, when they baked in that second opt-out, wow, what a charge. They tacked on an extra year onto the end of the contract. So if he chooses not to opt out, then he's going to be in St. Louis for 9 years, I do believe, or maybe 8.
Okay,
Yeah, I think if he opts out, he's not going to get that same money that he's already secured.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to stay.
And all signs point to him being not only happy to be in St. Louis, but actually like desirous for his career to be in St. Louis. So at least that's what he's publicly saying.
This is such an underrated third baseman.
Yeah.
I think he could win a Gold Glove.
Not with Matt Chapman in our league.
I was about to say his competition is pretty tough.
That's the only problem.
And you can't win it in the NL with Arenado over there. So
No.
Well, apparently the White Sox fans booed Joe West, according to the
Of course they
great
did.
Go.
And they booed the Russo last night. So
Hey, they should.
Who is his other competition in the AL? Chapman?
Man, who else is a
Donaldson?
good defender?
Is he still good? I don't follow him at all.
What player?
Josh Donaldson?
No, I don't. You know what? He was a good defender with Atlanta, actually.
Yeah.
I think
But
he's
I
still
would
okay.
not.
That's why I paid more
can say
attention when he was in the East. In
who are you talking about?
AL third base Gold Glove competition.
Gio Urshela.
Our show was pretty good.
That's
I guess
basically it.
Rendon,
and then Bregman
maybe?
And Rendon, possibly.
Yeah.
Mendoza's not playing that much, though.
Mm-mm. Yeah, Rendon was the only one I could think of, really.
Was it Connor Coeffa playing third base last year?
Yeah.
He's at short now.
Okay, because Coeffa is a great defender too. He
Yeah,
won the
actually,
Gold Glove at
Connor
third base
Falefa
last
won
year.
it. Oh yeah, because Chapman was injured last year. He only played, I think, 30 or so games.
Because Coeffa won for third base last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He almost was
I
a
think you have to
candidate, I think.
qualify To be.
He almost was a candidate last year.
They're just chucking Fernandez back out there. Like, all right, kid, go get us 3 more.
Do it again.
I was really looking forward to Carpenter pitching to your mean, but whatever.
It'll have to wait.
Unfortunately.
Game's not over yet.
You're right.
Although it is the bottom of the 8th, unfortunately.
No way. Have you guys seen the video by John Boy Media on Twitter where Joe West in 1994 called a strike on Raul Mondesi for taking too long to
Yes.
stop the batter's box?
He wasn't even in the box.
That video, that's absurd. He literally is not even in a picture. Not even
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
picture,
fantastic.
Just calls a strike.
Is that even legal?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he's in control.
Cowboy Joe. That was like that was like 91 or something, right?
Yeah, I think it's a 94.
Are you a Scotty Pod's guy, Andrew?
Yeah, he was my favorite player growing up.
He's on the post. He's on the pre and post right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be on a lot more.
I think he's doing 15, 20 games right for a while now.
Yeah, I like him as an analyst.
It was interesting seeing him on the Zoom last year. He was sitting in his office,
Yeah.
and Chuck was by himself. He was like in Texas or something.
They seem to be running with Ozzie Guillen since he's in, I think, at least 1 or 2 commercials now. And obviously, like his style is just off the charts.
And the one thing with the pit the click thing, it's like, and they have Frank with like no picks. I'm like, Frank can just text in his picks every day, and they can make that look more of like a competition.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, they used to do like Hawk and DJ, and then the crew, or Hawk Steve and the crew.
Yeah, but it's like if like Frank's not, if you're gonna show Frank stats there, have Frank text in his pick every day instead of him only having like so many picks.
You know what? I don't think they do anymore. They don't do the Ursula. You know, loving memory of Ursula after every White Sox home run. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Hawk had a lot of things with like the clicks and then the home run charities and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But those kind of going away once he left the booth. Twins beat Baltimore.
Damn.
And Rodon.
Everybody in our Division 1 except for Detroit. So
Tomorrow's actually another good pitching matchup.
this game,
Tomorrow's game.
yeah, Gant and Rodon.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll actually deliver.
Rodon should.
He's chucking these days.
That's
Alright.
underselling it, I think.
That was fun to watch on Friday.
Yeah, that was cool.
I heard some things about, because we were all wondering why he didn't pick the 7th in that game. I think it's because they're still trying to, preserve him a little bit still.
Yeah, that might not be the worst idea.
He was cruising. I was like, maybe that home run hasn't happened, but
I think that's going to be something interesting to take a look at as the season, gets into the dog days of summer, is how the pitchers' arms hold up after the shortened season last year,
Mm-hmm.
and just how teams manage their innings and pitch counts.
Do you think there's going to be that much of a difference? Because they had all off season to build up knowing they were going to go into a full season pretty much. And everybody nobody's on a leash really.
I think some teams will handle it like more cautiously, and then some teams will just be like, "Who cares?" I think certain pitchers too, like Lance Lynn. To me, he's got a rubber arm. He could just pitch whenever.
Yeah, he'll
Where
throw
certain
380
guys
innings.
coming off of injuries who've had arm injuries, especially last year and this year, I think those guys especially they'll be cautious with younger pitchers, minor leaguers definitely.
Like
Like
I heard.
minors.
Yeah, speaking with Crochet, I know it's being guarded a lot. I've heard that. He's only thrown he's being guarded a lot because he came up from Tennessee, barely pitched, gets himself into an alternate site, and comes up for 6 innings only last year, and then now they're really monitoring him. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, like I keep vying for Kopech to be in the rotation, but Jordan keeps telling me like, "Oh no, you got to save his arm for the postseason."
You do. You don't want a Strasburg type of thing.
Oh yeah.
We don't even know what the inning limit is because they won't say. Cat again was asked about. They don't know. It's all based on feel with the kid. They'll tell basically they check on him and say how you're doing, and and when they throw him in a start, he's not gonna be able to pitch Kopech probably at least till tomorrow or the Orioles series because he threw 2 innings last night. So that's how they're working him. If he pitches multi innings, the more wonky he goes, the less time he's available.
Yeah, I think the number for Kopech is somewhere around 120 innings.
And he's already at 30, so it's if you put him in rotation now, he throws, that could rack up quick.
I mean, if you cap him though, let's say 3, 4, 5 innings.
Well, then you tax your bullpen. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what we could call it Ronaldo Lopez to just have a guy that could go, 3, 4, 5 innings if we need him. Mop up rolls.
Yeah, you also got to hope that Kopech has a good start each time too, because let's say he gives up a couple home runs in the first couple innings, and you're kind of screwed. So, I mean, if Cease is going to be the only liability in your rotation, they're going to ride it out the whole year and not replace him. Because most teams don't have 4 or 5 dominant starters all the time. They usually have a guy or two who struggles through the rotation here and there. So. Who's the Cardinals pitching coach, Ethan?
Mike Maddox. Yes, that Maddox.
He was with the Nationals before. I think, didn't they swap pitching coaches?
Yep. No. Derek Rose?
Derek Rose?
Does that sound right?
Bulls legend?
I think Derek Rose is doing other stuff.
What the heck is his name? Derek Rose is doing other stuff. That's funny. His name. I can see his face in my head.
Did Mike Maddox ever pitch in the big leagues?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's Greg's brother, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so to go along with the question I asked a little bit ago about the top 5, so I'll make this a little easier. So the bottom 5 for qualified hitters. Can you guess any of them?
Bottom 5 hitters?
Bottom 5.
Qualified?
Yep.
For what?
Oh, Matt Carpenter?
No.
Really?
Yeah, he's probably not qualified.
He's probably not qualified, yeah.
Who's been really bad?
Adam Eaton?
No. I will say 3 of them are relatively big names.
Leary Garcia?
No.
Zach Collins?
Oh, come on.
Is one of them a brewer?
Yeah, you can't do that to him.
Pujols? Oh, no, he's probably not qualified.
Pujols is doing
He's
well.
probably not qualified. Yeah.
I thought we were talking about players in this game. My bad. I'll start branching out then.
No, yeah.
Is Marty Grandal?
No, he's over 100.
That's day.
Yoshi Tsutsugo? He's probably not qualified either, but
I don't think he's qualified. This might be too difficult of a question. This is.
can you give us the teams?
Yeah,
That would
give
help.
us some teams.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the absolute worst is on Oakland with a 26
Albert
WRC
Andrews.
plus. Yeah, Andrews. And then numbers 2 and 4 are both Pirates.
Oh, wow. Eric Gonzalez?
And then there. What'd you say?
Eric Gonzalez?
Yep, he's fourth worst.
Thanks.
And then 3rd and 5th are on Brewer. And a red.
Yeah. Is it I
So
figured
the
it would
Reds
be a
probably
brewer.
Tucker Barnhart.
Oh,
No.
Really? Wow. Would it be
I would say I was gonna say Suarez, but his power is still pretty
Jonathan
high.
India?
It is Suarez. Suarez is
Oh,
5th
wow.
worst.
Really?
Oh, really? But his
Holy
power is
smokes.
still high. Is his power still a thing that is helping him out? But it's not.
He's hit 9 home runs, but he has a
Yeah.
228 on base percentage. So
Yeah, I know he had a really rough, like, his stat line's kind of weird.
So then it's
And
a
then-
Brewer and what's the other
Is
team?
Yeah,
it
one more-
Urias?
you
Luis
got another
Urias?
Pirate and a Brewer.
Gregory Polanco.
No.
Luis Urias?
No.
No.
Lorenzo Kane.
No, sir.
Casemiro.
Nope.
He's get called up.
Garcia?
No, Garcia's been all right.
Garcia's, yeah, I think he leads like in all Brewers offensive categories.
Oh, okay.
Christian Yelich.
No, he's
No,
not
he's
qualified.
definitely not
He was like,
That was a joke.
Do you want Travis Shaw's good this year, or he's okay this year?
I think it's Shaw. Is it Shaw?
no, it's not Shaw.
Oh yeah, he's been okay.
I think he's below.
Castanera?
No.
No, it's Vogelbach.
No.
Man.
I'm gonna feel bad if you guys said it now. I don't think you
The
did.
hell? How did Yachty just broke a double off of Crochet?
I'm trying to think who it
Yadier
is.
Molina.
'cause-
Do you want another hint for the Brewer?
Yeah.
It's a new Brewer.
Adames.
No, not
It's a
that.
Wong.
Not that.
Not Wong, is it?
Jackie Bradley Jr.
There it is.
Oh. Oh
And
yeah,
then a
I'm
Pirate.
getting that.
And you got one more Pirate.
It's Kevin Newman, right?
Yeah.
Todd Frazier.
And Kevin Newman hit like 600 in spring training.
Yeah, he
You're
was
hyping that up.
he was like had some up. He got hit in like 13 straight hits or something in spring training.
Adam Frazier, though, he's done really well with Pittsburgh this year.
So
Has
I
Crochet
think
been healthy all year?
Crochet?
Yeah.
No, he went on the
Back
IL.
issue. For a back issue.
His
really
velocity
enjoy
this year, though,
watching
has
this
been
two-pitch.
down, and it's. Like, see,
think it's-
last year he was consistently pumping like 199.
Yeah.
I think it's
This
coming.
year's
I
been
think
like
it's.
high 90s, mid 90s.
I think his velocity's peaked back though, since he's been back from the IL though. It's come back a little bit.
how old is
I
he?
don't think he needs to throw that hard anymore because even Kopech doesn't throw that hard anymore. Like, he doesn't throw 100 anymore. He does like 98,
I
99.
think with Kopech, though, he's become a smarter pitcher, like where he's like saving his velocity for when he needs it.
He also has a
Crochet,
lot-
I feel like it could just be. Hopefully, it's not like an arm issue or he's not
Kopech
stressed
also-
out yet.
Kopech has more movement on his fastball too.
Oh yeah, his fastball is like one of the best in the game.
Is he wearing? Is Crochet wearing tweeners right now? The elastic pants with
Sure
the
looks
down.
like
You
it.
know what? He rolls his pants.
He
up.
rolls his pants like that. It's weird. Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone makes fun of him like makes fun of this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks weird.
yeah. You'd get ripped apart playing like a high school game.
They also have a there's a rookie shaming going on where they have the rookies carry a SpongeBob backpack into the bullpen,
Oh god.
Nice. Classic.
and Crochet says he carries like candy in there.
One day Hazen will be out of the game.
No way!
Oof. Wow.
Well, we'll take that call.
Stare him down.
Oh,
Nice
Nice slide.
He's too
the
young to
slide.
stand
Damn,
on
that's
Joe
such a good
West.
pitch.
Wow, it wasn't even badly framed, nothing.
Now all the pomp and circumstance of his record-breaking game is just destroyed.
That's a good slider.
I'm happy that Carp got on base and has a 2-for-3 game going, but I also hate that that's going to buy him more playing time.
Yeah.
Who's your guys' pick for the AL MVP this year?
It's got to be Shohei, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. He was my preseason pick.
Good for you. I would say that the way it's going, that's probably a pretty good
Yeah.
bet. I would preseason. I don't want to sound like that guy, but preseason I bet on Judge.
Vladdy's picking up steam right now, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't pitch.
I was going to say the pure impressiveness of what Otani's doing right now.
I don't think Otani's going to pitch the entire year, though.
Oh, he will. Hopefully.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, he's going to pitch. No doubt about it.
Velo, that last start or so, that Velo was really down.
He's been dealing with like blisters though, and then
he said that was just like a dead arm thing, which can happen, and that isn't always.
I don't know how we got unscathed from that Brave thing happening in the opening series. I don't know how he got unscathed there.
Yep.
But him and Abreu had that collision. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that was bad.
I love how the Angels have been putting Otani in right field.
Yeah, they pull him.
I love that.
Hey, why is Liam I guess he needs some work. He hasn't pitched in a while. It's fine.
We might get a save situation here pretty soon.
Nope, here it is.
4-0.
Oh, because it's a save situation, you bring him in though, huh?
He needs to work though, Andrew. It's fine.
Yeah. Frustrating to watch.
And now he's bringing him in.
Look how slow that walk is too.
I was going to say, can Tony La Russa be any slower to the...
It's turning it up just a little bit.
It's by design too to give his bullpen arm a few more pitches.
Yeah.
Still
Strategy. I'm going to make fun of him for being old.
I mean, the White Sox had like the most energized manager ever in like Ozzie Guillen, and then we had Robin Ventura, Rick Renteria, and now Tony La Russa. It's like these guys, they don't even look like they care about their job.
They drain the energy from the room.
Well,
Yeah,
Ventura was forced into the job, and so was Tony La Russa. They're both forced.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all needed Dusty Baker. That would have been hilarious.
I wanted Joe Espada.
Was he on the 17 Astros?
No, 18.
Espada? Okay.
He was a big-time player for the Cubs job for the hired Ross. He was one of the bigger interviews.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with Adrian Brzezinski, I do want to see him get a shot. I just don't think I'd rather have gone with someone who has experience. That's why I wasn't for that type of thing. I know a lot of fans wanted it, but it's like.
And look at what we did. We went with the guy with experience.
This is
I mean, the
different.
team's still playing well. But come on, we could have a couple more wins on the board.
AJ's got to be a bench coach or do something in the minor leagues for first, right? Even like
I don't think he wants to do that though. AJ's like he's got to be the top dog.
he wants to manage. Like he said, there was interviews of him. He said I'd manage the White Sox team. I would. He said he would on the radio. Even Ozzy said it too. He would do it.
I would love to see. I don't know if this particular core is the right core to manage. Like I don't know how he would relate to all our Latin players.
No, I think AJ would be fine because you would have had Billy Russo and he'd be okay.
Yeah. He's very transparent too. Like he's gonna
LaRusso speaks Spanish, so that's part of the reason for that too. He had to because he had Pujols and Molina. Of course, they speak English too, but you get my point.
Pujols speaks really good English.
Yeah.
What happened to Lane Thomas? I think he had like a really good 2019. It was only like a couple weeks worth of time, and then
he started super duper hot, and it reminded me of. Do you guys know who Jeremy Hazelbaker is?
Yes, I remember him.
He was batting like 400 through the month of March or April, and just like unbelievable. And now he's out of affiliated ball, but it is one of those situations. Except obviously Thomas is way younger. He just needs reps. If I think of one player who was hurt the most by a lack of a minor league season, it's Lane Thomas. He just needs reps, and he went back. He was with us with the starting roster to begin the year this year, and then he went back to AAA to start the season there, to start their season, and like really locked it in, was looking great, and was just like way more comfortable with his approach, and then is now struggling again against major league pitching. I think it's just a time thing for him.
I looked up Jeremy Hazelbaker. I totally forgot about that guy. What do you think his OPS plus is in his career?
It's got to be like 72.
Anyone else want to take a guess?
No, it's got to be lower than that.
I'm gonna go
64.
81. I'm gonna go with the high mark.
72.
116.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 258, 327, 500 slugging in his career. Only 285 plate appearances. That's got to be like one of the best OPS pluses for like that little playing time.
Yeah, towards that year, I can't remember which year
for
that
at least
was.
like seasons, I should say. Like that's like a season
16. Can't remember when he was with the Cardinals, but towards the end of the year, he was unplayable.
He had a 1,000 OPS in 2017 with the Diamondbacks. Only 61 plate appearances, but still.
Ooh.
Is he overseas now?
I have no idea. Let me see.
That was a nasty fastball.
I think Moroff closed his eyes.
Absolutely terrified.
Like literally, I think his eyes were closed.
It did kind of look that way, yeah.
I don't think he's playing anymore.
I think he went overseas earlier in his career, maybe. I don't know why I think that.
He did play in the KBO.
Yeah.
Baseball Reference has the last season he played is 2019.
What a man. He was a hero in St. Louis for a solid 70 days. Oh, my Lord. Wow. We went from bases loaded, no outs to Matt Carpenter on the mound pretty quick.
Because Liam's pumping gas.
Why are you looking in? Just throw 98 at the top.
Liam's got like that half Kimbrel look with the
He
the
threw
chain
98
over.
way at the top.
He took me literally
Yeah.
Whoa!
through to Edmonds' top.
Good call on the 98, though. That's what it was.
I'm nothing if not consistent.
Uh-oh.
Damn.
Oh boy! All right, good. Gosh, you gotta catch that.
Come on, earn that money.
A little something extra on that one.
Yeah.
The foul ball.
Foul ball.
Okay. 99.
Damn.
Noted
Professional
tough
hitter
love.
Tommy Edman.
Tommy Edmonds, the
Tough at
definition of a
bat.
professional hitter.
Just overflowing with grit.
If he could choke anymore, he would. Come on, Tommy, 2 bags. Let's go.
Wrong player.
Oh, you're right. This is Tommy Triples. My bad.
Stop fouling the ball. End this game, Liam. Don't you dare walk him again.
Throw the South Slider.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Attaboy,
Jordan, I got
Tommy.
news for you.
It's a rip.
Oh, come on. You guys are making me nervous every time I see you guys are ahead of me.
Yeah, we have a private message set up that at a certain time we're all just going to start shouting.
Yeah!
Oh! Bottom of the
Thank
zone.
you.
There you
That was a
go.
good pitch.
I knew Andrew would have lied to me and think something happened.
Well, if Edmund doesn't make it in pro ball, he has a Stanford education.
Was Tommy Edman a highly touted prospect?
Not really. No, he sort of came out of nowhere and had himself a tear, and then stayed consistent. He's one of our most consistent hitters since he came up in 19.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I had never heard of him before, and then all of a sudden, here's Tommy Edman. bad leadoff for the Cardinals.
And when Wong was batting leadoff, he was seen as this like ultra utility guy, which is what like the Cardinals are always known for, always having that like extra special utility guy who could slide all over the field, like a John Jay type situation, or we had Jed Jerko for a while. But yeah, he can play anywhere. Well, not the pitching matchup we were expecting, but the one we deserved.
I'll take a White Sox winner any way it comes. But I agree with you, Ethan. No, I didn't. We didn't get what we wanted here.
All right, this is my favorite game I like to play. Top 5 exit velos from this game. Who wants to guess number 1?
Abreu.
Number 2 is Abreu.
Oh, no.
I have it up, so I'm not going to play. I had Savant up, so.
Yeah,
All right, so Jose Abreu, number 2 with
it's
110.
Andrew Vaughn?
I can't believe who the third person, who third is right now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Goldschmidt led it with 110.5. Abreu had 110.3, so negligible. Then Lurie Garcia, 107.1. Then Adam Eaton, 104.9. And then Yachty had 104.1.
Freaking, he said to Andrew's face whether he said Lear Garcia. If that was stature, he probably would have had a heart attack. Stature hates Lear Garcia.
Junior Fernandez took all 5 top pitch velos with 99s.
Yeah, for like a while in the game, Flaherty hit all 5.
Yo.
I'm going to tell him that Leary had the third highest exit velocity.
That has to be a career high.
Alrighty, y'all. It's been a pleasure. Oh, wonderful game. Let's do it all again sometime, except actually a good pitching matchup next time. How about that?
Sounds like a wonderful plan.
100%.
Yep.
Have a wonderful night, gentlemen.